Oh, well, we just gonna go live. Peace Campaign Trail, December 2nd, Monday. Motivation. Y'all see the title? Joe Biden pardons his son, Hunter Biden. Is this your king? Is this your king? We'll wait till some notifications go out as they take a few minutes to do so. Let me get this. Hold on, put this off the screen, on the screen. Dang, what am I praying? Okay. There we go. We're gonna start off with a comparison. We're gonna start off with a fair comparison. Keep in mind, disclosure or a reminder, I do not vote. I have not voted. I am not a voter. So I don't have a quote unquote dog in the fight. Salute George Allen. Wa alaikum salam. Salute Ahmad Jabril. Peace to you and the fam. Always good to see y'all. I'm not a voter. I didn't vote for Trump. I didn't vote for Harris, Biden, Clinton, Obama, nobody. I ain't never voted for a president in my life and don't never plan to. Not a president of the United States. Never plan to. So as difficult as it might be, as emotionally difficult as it might be for y'all to digest and believe and take and in the words of TD Jakes, swallow, I'm actually neutral. My position is actually neutral. That's why I can judge it with a clearer view, a clearer mind, no emotions involved. So that's why this subject is up. And we, of course, are revisiting. We're going to visit the past 4-year history, especially when we was pushing our hardest to get the orange man out of here. And it was all up to us. It was black people's mission that we had to get him out of here. And those of us that didn't cooperate with that assignment, we didn't understand the assignment. We was accused of being the problem. And then, despite us or our non-cooperation, y'all was able to get your king in office. And that's why the country is where it's at right there, right now, at this particular time, because your king has been in office and your king is going out with a bang, literally, figuratively and literally. Bang as far as war and setting up wars before he get out, and bang, banging for his criminal felon son. So I just wanted to let y'all compare felons, compare felon heroes, felon kings, liar kings, not the lion kings, but the lying kings, felon kings. Since y'all believe in either one, I just wanted to put a balance scale up. And where's this at? Here we go. Trump was found guilty. So many people say, well, Trump got convicted, 34 convictions. It's all over what? We're going to talk about specifically what the convictions were over. There was only over one subject, which was, I guess, hush money because he allegedly smashed Stormy Daniels, a dope film star, which is not illegal, but I guess he was trying to hush it up so she wouldn't ruin his image. So now that resulted in 34 felony counts. So that's what his crime is. And if you wanted to know, it was $130,000. So these 34 felonies that my people love to scream about, that you saying makes Trump's so corrupt or far more corrupt than Biden. His crime was around one subject, which was paying $130,000 hush money payment to adult film star Stormy Daniels so she would negatively influence the outcome of the 2016 election. That's his crime. And if you want to go into more details or whatever. This is the details of it. Broken down. So all of those is talking about invoices and entries and invoices and check stubs and entries and invoices and check stubs, right? So this is the thing that we putting up against the 94 crime bill, right? We putting this up against the 94 crime bill and his 40 years of what he has done, the crimes against humanity that Joe Biden is on record doing against us and our people. And this dude's 34 counts of messing with invoices for $130,000 payment is what we holding up against dude, right? Keep in mind, I'm not a Trump voter supporter. I'm not a Biden voter supporter. I don't care about none of them. But I'm not blind and I'm not no idiot. So you're not gonna, like they say, urinate on my head and tell me it's raining. You're not gonna tell me that your guy, your king, is the lesser of two evils. I'm not taking that. I let y'all get away with that 4 years ago. I didn't say nothing. But now once you see what he done did with his son or for his son, while he made sure our sons was locked up for the last 40 years, because our sons must be taken off the street. And he took them off the street. And then you ran and voted for him. And you said he deserved a second chance. You didn't give your baby daddy a second chance, but you gave, he must be taken off the streets. You gave him a second chance to rule you. You wouldn't even come close to letting your own child's father rule you, or children's father, multiple children's father rule you. But you ran out and voted for the one that destroyed your children and children's father and voted for him. So that's what I wanted to talk about today. Joe Biden pardons his son, Hunter Biden. Are y'all aware of Hunter Biden's crimes? Are y'all aware of Hunter Biden's crimes? I think I got them up here posted somewhere. Oh, not it. I can read them off, so I'm not going to post them. Hunter Biden's crimes. There's some weapons. It's a gun charge, but it's really deeper than that. I'm gonna scroll down here so y'all can, you see, you got a gun charge, a felony, federal gun charge, some income tax evasion for 1.3 million or something like that. But then, he gets into mixing, after all of his dirt and his drug problems or whatever, he gets into mixing with the family business. In 2006, the then Senator Biden, President Biden, the father, set to reassume chairmanship of the Senate's Foreign Relations Committee. Hunter and another relative made an ill-fated purchase of a hedge fund group. Their tenure at Paradigm Global Advisors extended through Joe Biden's 2008 presidential run and selection as vice president under President Barack Obama. During this time, the fund was connected with several alleged fraudsters, including a Texas financier convicted of running one of the largest Ponzi schemes in U.S. history. This is Joe Biden's son and Joe Biden. The Bidens denied any wrongdoing and faced no charges. But in 2010, they liquidated the fund and returned money to investors. In comes the China and Ukraine business, Hunter business. And it said much has been made in recent years about Hunter's foreign business interests while his father was vice president under Obama. In 2013, he took a founding board seat. This is Hunter Biden. He took a founding board, chairman of board seat at BHR, a private Chinese equity firm. Chinese equity. You know what I'm saying? First as an unpaid member and then later owning a 10% equity stake in the fund. The company was registered in Shanghai less than a fortnight after Hunter flew with his father on an official vice presidential trip to China and met BHR's chief executive, but only for a cup of coffee. They only met for a cup of coffee, allegedly. After his father left office in 2017, Hunter partnered up with Chinese oil tycoon Yi Jianming on a natural gas project in Louisiana. The deal collapsed after Yi was detained by Chinese authorities on corruption charges and subsequently went missing, disappeared. Hunter's dealings in Ukraine have stoked even more controversy. So that was the Chinese dealings, but then it's switching now up to Ukraine, the present day. Hunter's dealings with Ukraine have stoked even more controversy, given that his father was the Obama administration's point man for U.S.-Ukraine relations. Wow. In 2014, he joined the board of Ukrainian energy company called Burisma Holdings, where he was paid as much as $1.2 million per year. This is Hunter. As part of an anti-corruption drive, Vice President Biden was at the time rallying for the ouster of the country's top prosecutor, Victor Shokin. Republicans allege that both Joe Biden and Hunter Biden have received $5 million payouts from Burisma executives in exchange for Mr. Shokin's firing. But those claims fizzled when an ex-FBI informant was charged with fabricating the whole bribery scheme. A former business partner to Hunter also testified Joe Biden had been on speakerphone several times during Hunter's call with various contacts. Allegations of corruption formed the centerpiece of both President Trump's first impeachment in 2019 and are stoking the impeachment inquiry into President Biden. So I don't want to post up these pictures of Hunter Biden. There's hundreds and hundreds of very compromising pictures and text messages or emails or whatever from the Hunter Biden laptop, you know, when he was on his a crack binge or whatever, that he left it somewhere and they lied and said that was a made up story, but in fact it was a real story and the FBI lied to the American people, allegedly, which all leads to, you know, just comparing the crimes. Let's compare the felonies. Are all felonies equal? That's what I want to know. Are all felonies equal? I didn't vote. Did you vote? Did y'all vote? Did y'all vote for Harris? Did y'all vote for Biden? Did y'all vote for Trump? I didn't vote for none of them. So I got the right to be neutral and ask these questions in neutrality. Which felonies are the worst? The ones that dude got convicted of, or the one, I mean, you know, is the 34 that was over $130,000 payment to a adult film star for I'm guessing consensual relations that he just tried to hush up. He tried to use the $130,000 to hush up so she wouldn't tell, because I guess the other side was trying to force her hand or pay her or whatever into messing up his presidential run. Which felonies are the worst? Let me know. Nafisa, salute, blessings to you. Which felonies are the worst? Can we go there? Can we compare evils? Can we compare crimes and felonies, or we don't want to do that? We don't want to talk about this Joe Biden pardoning his son while we got all the receipts for the last 4 years or however 3 years of him promising and swearing and giving his word that he would not pardon his son, that he would accept the results of the jury. You know how they was pressing Orange Man, they was pressing Trump saying, will you accept the results of this election? And he was like, if such and such, like he would never really say it straight. And then I guess he did say he would accept it. But this whole time, this is the man specifically lying to your face the whole time while he was justifying doubling down on the 94 crime bill that he drafted to lock your sons up, to lock your brothers, your fathers up, to lock our people up. But he's making sure that his son get free from his felonies. And this is who you voted for. This is your king, right? Can I get an amen? Can I get an amen? Or am I lying on somebody? Maybe they still, because I got the Joe Biden, Hunter Biden hashtag. So maybe that's a censorship word. Maybe that's a trigger word for the algorithms or something. Am I tripping? Is this something we can talk about? Let me get this off the screen real quick. Is this something we can talk about? Is this a subject we can talk about? Nafisa, he's a liar. Yeah, they all liars, but I want to compare the lesser of the two evils. I want to see who's lying the worst. I want to see whose felonies was the worst. Are we on some Christian time to where they believe all sins are equal? That's not according to the laws that we agree on in every other subject. We clearly say that's not true. So why now, when I'm asking to compare the felonies, compare the Stormy Daniels $130,000 hush money to whatever Biden is guilty of, which is crimes against humanity? It ain't just felonies. So is Trump worse because his own people strung him up and he got the actual word conviction on the $130,000, or is what Biden did that he was never convicted from or convicted over worse? Which one is worse? Can anybody get on this live with me or let me know in the chat? Am I tripping? Are we acting like this satanic legal system is just and fair all of a sudden just because one of them got convicted? How many black people are in jail for crimes they got convicted of that they wasn't guilty of? But when it comes to this, the justice system is perfect. He got convicted, so he must be worse than Joe Biden, right? Did that make any sense? Am I making sense? Anybody want to challenge me on this? Especially if you voted and you looking real bad right now. You're looking real bad right now if you voted. If you voted for Harris and Biden, you're looking real bad. Right? Anybody want to clean their image up or defend Joe Biden, defend Kamala Harris, defend Hunter Biden? Anybody want to do that with me? I want to know what y'all think. This is who y'all pressed me to vote for 3-4 years ago. Y'all said I was the problem because I wouldn't vote. Anybody want to stand on that business this evening, this Monday evening? After these breaking news of your man lying, your king lying like you claim Trump was doing. It's one thing to lie, just in general. It's another thing to lie about certain subjects. You don't care what's happening to my children, but then you're gonna lie to me, make me vote to get me to vote for you and support you. Lie to me, and then when it comes down to it, when your son is on the hot seat, instead of letting everybody out, instead of pardoning everybody that you locked up for the last 40 years, you're gonna pardon your son and leave us all locked up. And our people gonna vote for you and try to make an excuse. You're gonna try to be a Johnny Cochran and defend Captain Save-A-Devil, try to defend this still. I love it. That's why I love it. Nafisa, they told me I'm a problem as well. Hey, man, We problems. Do they have a solution? We're the problem. Do y'all have the solution? Because it's even more of a problem that the mainstream news media is making more and more a problem out of it. So it's not just us that's the problem no more. People that was on your side that had the battery in your back now have turned on you. Have y'all turned on the news? Have y'all seen the news lately? They turning on you. Like we said they would. Told you they was gonna pull that rug out from up under your feet when they was finished with you. Told you what they was gonna do with you. Anybody want to compare felonies? Anybody want to get on here and compare felonies compare the two presidents' felonies? Is that too much to ask? Guess so. Hunter Biden. I wish I could show these pictures, but like I said, there's pictures of he had 304s. He had ladies of leisure. He had crack and other and powder. He had crack and powder. So if they did the crack versus powder disparity thing, like he's supposed to be going for both of them. He's supposed to be going for powder and crack and guns. and hoes and 304s. Not to mention the treason, not to mention the sharing of U.S. secrets or the insider, whatever he was doing with China and Ukraine during Obama's presidency when Biden was the vice president and during this campaign when Biden was the president. Cold business. Yusuf line, salute with the wrench. Yeah, she'd be downstairs in a few. Yeah, she was down here at first, but she went upstairs. Yeah. Man, it's interesting. Oh, I guess I must have hit a trigger hashtag algorithm trigger hashtag word I wasn't supposed to hit because I guess they dude is still in power. That's why I'm actually appreciating Trump being in president because he suffered what I suffered on these YouTube streets, on these social media streets, getting censored and banned and all this stuff, demonetized, deplatformed. They turn your little numbers down. When I first got on here, this channel was like 175, 174, something like that, 1,000. My first few videos was, through the roof, like 3,000 new subscribers and all of that. But then they heard what, them trigger algorithm words got to kicking in and locking in. So especially if you're talking against Biden, if you're talking against the small caps, the rainbow and Biden, then they're going to lock in. They're going to give it their last shot, Custer's last stand, and try to stop the people, from hearing what you got to say. But they heard us. That's why Sister Girl, Skiwi Girl ain't the president, because they actually heard us. You know what I'm saying? Despite all the fake bots and the fake censorship, fake view numbers and all of that, they actually heard the real ones. And boy, are they salty about that. Salty. Holistic Heart, salute. Terry Miles, when the 94 crime bill comes back to bite. Right, man. I mean, how could we even vote for somebody that we know? Like 94 ain't that long ago. If you following this channel, 1994 ain't that long ago. So we forgot that quick. That's why I always, be kind of putting my sisters on blast because they're the voter bloc. They're the big, powerful, new power force that was bragging about getting the orange man out of here, and we the new political power bloc and boss chicks and this and that. But that's the ones that voted. That's the ones that forgave Joe Biden. Like, you wouldn't even forgive your baby daddy You wouldn't even forgive your child's father, but you forgave Joe Biden and voted for him and promoted him to rule you, to be your zaddy, to be your king, your lord, your president, your top authority. That's incredible. That's incredible. So yeah, when that 94 crime bill come back to bite, when you see your son or your brother or your daddy locked up, but he pardoned his son. He didn't pardon your son. He didn't pardon your baby daddy. He didn't pardon your daddy, your father, your brother. He pardoned his own son and said, yours and mine must be taken off the streets. That's what that nigga said. It's on tape. We got the receipts. And we got the receipts of him this year, this term, saying, no, I don't regret that. No. In fact, I crafted that bill. I'm doubling down. I'm standing on my testicles. They go, what? I'm standing on my little pink testicles. Yeah, I meant it. And I don't feel responsible. I'll be damned if I feel responsible for reparations for y'all. I'm not even gonna ask. Shit, I don't even want to ask what made y'all these little animals that y'all are. All I know is you must be taken off the street so you don't take on my sons. My sons need to be free to get their laptop freak offs on. You know what I'm saying? To do they espionage or they money laundering. To do they treason against the country. Said, my sons must be, free. Y'all little animal sons need to be locked up. Y'all need to be taken off the streets. And thank you, sister girls, for helping me take your brothers and sons off the streets. Thank you for worshiping me and forgiving me when I didn't never apologize to you. In fact, I doubled down on you. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't acknowledge nothing. My enemy, the orange man, he was acknowledging that black people built America, and at least he had some kind of little crumbs or programs, 500 million or 500 billion program that he was claiming to offer, but not I. Thank you, Nafisa. Thank you, Sistrin, for the Cash App. Not I, said the Biden. I got nothing for you. That's why you love me, because I give you nothing. Why do you like the devil? Because he put fear in you when you was little girls, little boys. Why do you fear now that you're a big woman or a big man? Because he taught us to eat the wrong foods. Right? Mental foods, physical foods, spiritual foods. Cold game out here in these streets, Taraji. Cold game we out here in these streets, Taraji. Joe Biden, Hunter been in these streets hunting. Taraji. Pushing in peas. He been pushing in peas while we was locked up for pushing the same peas. We couldn't even push the peas. I think he was doing crack. He was on powder and rocks. Powder, rocks, and hoes. Powder, rocks, and hoes. And guns. Damn. Powder, rocks, guns, and hoes, and overseas treason. Yeah, he got pardoned. Oh man, damn, that's a list, ain't it? Damn, Supreme Touch, salute. Praying Cowboy, salute. On the road, salute. Man, Charm Stick too. Yeah, he was on a wet. Yeah, he was on a wet. Yusuf, yeah, he was in them streets. Taraji, I'm trying to tell you. I think it was in the paint. I think it was in the trenches. You seen them pictures? I got them on my desktop. I just can't play them because this will get flagged. I get flagged more than I. He has some Ukrainian 304s. Did y'all know that? He was ordering Ukrainian 304s, and they were saying like he was a creepy old man. They was actually saying the same complaints that they be saying about his daddy. But at least he was on the correct site. You know what I'm saying? His daddy being just regular public creeping out girls and females. At least the son knew what type of sites to be on, like where it was women of leisure sites. Right. Late. Terry Miles said, who still do crack? He do. Apparently he do. You know what I'm saying? He was on his Marty McFly. I guess he was back to the past. He wasn't in the future. He was he was stuck in the past. Man, he was getting busy. That was the first freak offs, right? The presidential freak offs, the politician freak offs is the real freak offs. It's not no black rappers. They just start letting black people in the freak offs. Now Diddy is supposed to be the mastermind of the freak offs. What about Larry Flint and Hugh Hefner and all these people? What about the Pornhub small caps? The ones that created that industry, the pornography industry. But you know, are we not entertained? This is y'all king. This is y'all mans in them, man. This is y'all mans. This is y'all mans. Ahmad, yeah. Bill Clinton, Monica with the Havana Stogie cigar and the dress with the blue dress with the protein pickup on it. Man, this who y'all voted for, right? Am I still wrong for not voting? Am I still in the wrong? Do I get an apology for not voting for the people that y'all said I should have voted for? I probably shouldn't wait for no apology. I probably shouldn't expect no apology, right? From my own people. Have y'all got an apology from anybody that pressed y'all about these characters? Have y'all been expecting one, or would you turn blue? What's that blue emoji? Like, don't hold your breath. Fed up sister. Cornell, what about Cornell? What's going on with Cornell? Joe Biden pardons his sons or his son. He said all throughout his term that, you know, especially when I think within the past last year, that he's not going to, as a matter of fact, it wasn't him. It was his press secretary, the black woman. The black woman that they made look super stupid. Where is she at? Do I still got, no, I don't got that. Damn, do I? Hold on a second. I know I got her on there. Yeah. Hold on. Let me show y'all. Put this back. This is cold business right here. This is how they doing, y'all sisters. When it's all said and done.
Not a lot's changed since yesterday. And it's a personal matter, but from a presidential perspective, is there any possibility that the president would end up pardoning his son?
No.
Well,
is there any possibility that the president would end up pardoning his son? See the black woman? Watch how many times they finna shove that size 8 Fred Flintstone foot into her mouth.
I just said no. I just answered. Go ahead. Go ahead.
The president pardon or commute his son if he's convicted?
So I've answered this question before. It was asked of me not too long ago, a couple of weeks ago, and I was very clear, and I said no.
No.
First briefing since Hunter was indicted again in Los Angeles.
Man, she got a different outfit every time. So fashionable. A new colored shoe in her mouth every time. Salute Mark Dice, the white boy right there that I got this clip from. Fair use, but salute. Follow Mark Dice. You know what I mean?
Why doesn't President Biden just pardon him?
President, I've been very clear. The president's not going to pardon his son.
His son, Hunter, is also up for being sentenced next month. Does the president have any intention of pardoning him?
We've been asked that question multiple times. Our answer stands, which is no.
President Biden says that he's not going to pardon his son, Hunter. Is he going to ask Donald Trump to do that?
I don't have anything else to share about that. I'm not going to go down a rabbit hole on this. I've been very clear. The president's been very clear when we've been asked this question.
The president would not pardon or commute sentences for his son, Hunter.
They be at least having some stylists, right? She got some big boss chick, some sister girl, boss lady, boss chick outfits on, right? And makeup and all that. All to get up there and make herself look like a straight fool. All to get up there and be the Captain Save-A-Dev and get stuck with the check, get stuck with the bill when it's all said and done. So now you the number one target of Trump. All these loudmouth boss chicks is now Trump and his followers' number one targets. You know what I'm saying? That's incredible.
I just want to make sure that that is not going to change over the next 6 months. The president's saying he would not.
It's still a no. It's still a no.
It will always be a no.
It's still a no. It will be a no. It is a no. And I don't have anything else to add. Will he pardon his son? No.
Will he pardon his son? No. Nope. Yep. And this is another one. This is a congresswoman. I don't know what her name is.
Democrats are having a difficult time ignoring the obvious hypocrisy and miscarriage of justice. Others, however, like Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, are celebrating it.
Well, I won't pretend to speak for the entire caucus, but I will say, way to go, Joe. Let me be the first one to congratulate the president for deciding to do this.
Way to go, Joe. Let me be the first one to congratulate the president on deciding to do this, which was lie to the people who we forced or we shamed to vote for him, right? Knowing that he locked up our people, our brothers and our men for the last 40-something years, and you want to be the first one to congratulate him for doing that, for pardoning his son while you left our sons locked up. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the problem at hand, right? So right here, I already played that early. Maybe I guess I could play this.
It doesn't matter whether or not they were deprived as a youth. It doesn't matter or not whether or not they had no background that enabled them to be.
He's talking about us. He's talking about black people in the super predators in the ghetto, as Hillary Clinton and them called. Because this is 93. He's trying to get it He's trying to get it passed for 94. This is under Bill Clinton. So he's talking about black people. It don't matter what happened to us and what they did to us for 400 years that made us like this. We must be taken off the street so his sons and them can be safe to do what his son been doing.
Become socialized into the fabric of society. It doesn't matter whether or not they're the victims of society. The end result is they're about to knock my mother on the head with a lead pipe, shoot my sister, beat up my wife, take on my sons, take on my sons, take on my sons. So I don't want to ask, what made them do this? They must be taken off the street.
We must be taken off the street, but his son must not be taken off the street. And that's who you voted for. You went to war against us. You accused us of being the problem so you can go vote for slave master Zaddy, knowing his history. He never apologized. And you rather go to war with us for not going along with that.
Another thing about how perspectives change over time. Bobby Rush, member of Congress, said the other day, "I'm ashamed that I voted for the 94 crime bill." You ashamed of that bill?
Not at all. And in fact, I drafted the bill, as you remember.
I know that.
We did it. We did it, Joe.
I know you said
we did it, Joe. We did it. I drafted the bill. Do I regret it? Negro, please. Do I look like I regret it? Have I ever said I regret it? So if they ain't even hinted at apologizing, why did you run your sister girl power, black girl magic ass out there and vote for him to be your ruler? To say that we got to get this orange man out of here. What exactly did the orange man do that was so bad? I'm still waiting on them receipts. Y'all trying to say the 34 felonies, that just happened, right? And it was over one alleged crime, which was he smashed consentingly, he smashed an adult film star allegedly and was trying to give her $130,000 to hush it up. So that's worse than Biden, right? That's worse than Hunter Biden and Joe Biden, right? We couldn't just Google that all this time and shit. You couldn't just listen to the receipts and the facts all this time that we was telling you, right? Nope. Somebody was offering you something. That's what you thought. You was Fredo from a Godfather 2. It was something for me on my own. I'm smart. Not like everybody says. That's our sisters trying to compete with us, envious of us, of our natural authority, our natural role. Hey, man, to where you can go side with the devil and rule and vote for the devil to rule you and fight against us because we won't go along with it. That's something like child support in a lot of cases. You want to penalize us and make us you run to our enemy to make us sponsor your rebellion against us. Right? You can delete your child and we ain't got no say so in it. But if you keep the child, then we have to pay for it. Cold game out here in these streets, Taraji. Cold game, little Tarajis out here in these streets, these peas that y'all pushing. Cold game. And the sad thing is so many of these males that's raised by single mothers is mentally whipped. You mentally whipped. You under the spell of your mama's emotion. So you're going to use your big, tough voice, tough body and shit to try to bang against, real warriors also. That hasn't worked out too well, has it? Ain't worked out too well, has it? Let a man up. Let your testicles hang. I'm not saying that your mama and our sisters is our enemies, but they have chosen. They have chosen to allow themselves to be used as our enemies. Not saying all of them, of course not all, but I ain't heard the voices of nobody checking them. I ain't heard nobody, no AKAs or whatever, the mainstream black women's boss chicks. Boss chicks don't check other boss chicks on they bullshit. Nah. Just like you ain't check Joe Biden. You ain't check Harris. Like, all right, so we can't tell you nothing. So you got to leave you to your own devices. Let nature take its course. Let you crash and burn. Let what's got to happen, happen. Because this is like, these people is like Hitler, right? You can't really blame it on Hitler. Hitler was like one little dude. He was not no wizard, sorcerer, niggas under some spell. No, Hitler just represented something, and he was in the right political power or position or whatever, that other people agreed with his idea. It wasn't Hitler's fault. This ain't really Joe Biden's fault or Kamala Harris's fault. It's the females or the males or whatever who agree with that idea. If you weak like that, your morals and your character is weak like that, then you looking for somebody weak like that to represent you. So where you could do what you want to do, you can twerk, you can delete your baby, you could be irresponsible, unaccountable, and then it get legal and is promoted and supported, it's funded, it's sponsored. You get an image. They're gonna paint you with an image like it's a noble image. Nah, use a straight 304. No, use a criminal against humanity. Them crimes against humanity. And that's why they crucified Jesus, because they couldn't shut him up, because they know he was telling raw, uncut truth, condemning them, convicting them. So you got Judases, you got people that was your day ones, but they couldn't take it no more, got jealous or whatever he was going through. So he couldn't hear it no more, so he had to sell him out for 30 pieces of silver. Jesus didn't even have 30 pieces of silver. Jesus wasn't getting money like that. He was after a different goal, but the people around you that you think is on the same cause that you on, they turn. You don't know they made a left on Albuquerque somewhere a few years ago that you wasn't aware of. That's how our people are. But at the end of the day, as they say, everything done in the dark come to the light. It's all gonna come out in the rinse. Is this y'all's king? Is this y'all's president? Is y'all man, right? Is y'all man that y'all said was better than the orange man, right? Right? I ain't voted for neither one of them. I don't got a dog in the fight, but y'all came against us. If you would have kept your mouth closed and just pushed your line and you believe in either one of them people, you should have did that. But the fact that you violated us, that you disrespected us, you try to impose that insanity on us, you gotta pay for that verbally. You can't get a pass. I'm not finna Joe Biden you, not verbally. Nope, you're gonna have to answer for all that pressure, all that stress, all that grief that you put on us. You got to answer for that. But don't nobody want to answer for that, right? Yep, I know. It ain't gonna shut the truth up, though. It's not gonna shut judgment up. The majority don't want judgment. It's 8 billion people on the planet. Judgment is against most of them. So do you think the majority is going to get together and agree with the judge? Nah. They think that they got some kind of scheme or is strength in numbers when it comes like, no, it's not no strength in numbers when it comes to divine truth and judgment and wrath. And yeah, it's not no strength in numbers. It's a bigger target. It's an easier target for the judge. You ain't got to worry about that. No. It's still a little window of time, just like Drake. You know, I don't know what Drake is going through, but it's a window of time that he could do a demo that'll be very dangerous and very extreme, very radical, but you could come back. But you got to do something that your ego or your pride probably won't allow you to do. And that's the same with so many of our sisters and males. Males tend to do it. You know, black males tend to know how to put their pride down more than our sisters do. But this new generation, I don't know, it's something in the water or this new hypnosis, this last little spell, this magic sorcery spell that these males is under today. I don't know, man. I ain't never seen it before. This is like an anomaly, glitch in the matrix. I seen some people that I thought was going to be suckers for life wake up and become, you know, warriors, and I saw warriors that I thought was going to be warriors for life turn into suckers. So I really can't speak on it. I really can't predict who's going to do what, but I can tell you what has to be done if you're going to come out from under that. And I just don't think, you know, from what I see, I don't think that it's going to happen willingly. Every knee is going to be forced to bow. Knees is going to bow and tongues is going to confess, but not willingly. It's going to happen unwillingly. So that's what I see. Yusuf, salute. Total disrespect. I dealt with that also, saying we are at fault. Yeah. Right. Nafisa, God's judgment are not a democracy. It's a dictatorship. So if that's what we already is rebelling against, especially our women, if we already are rebelling against authority, male authority, black male authority over us, then we're not going to make it, because this is not a democracy. It's not a democracy. No, this is a God dictatorship, right? The laws of nature, you can't have your way. The laws of nature is not going to respect your feelings, your wants, your desires. It's a total dictatorship. They totally rule you and me. No part of the laws of creation or the laws of nature have to conform to your feelings, to your wants, to your desires. Not one speck. It's totally the other way around. If you want success, if you want peace, you want health, healing, whatever, we got to conform to the law of nature. The law of nature or the law of truth don't got to conform to shit. Keep breathing. Keep breathing. Test the theory. See if you can see if you can break the laws of nature. Hannah Road. Young brothers don't stand corrected, right? Fed up sister, I voted for Cornel West. Why? I mean, I respect that. Why though? Why? What would Cornel West be able to do? To me, that's suggesting that you believe the system actually is fair, like it actually works. Like if Cornel West was to become the president, what would make you think that he was going to be able to do anything? The president is not the power. The president is not the system. President, there's no such thing as a private, secret conversation, phone call, notes, diary, or nothing like that. He couldn't even get close to the really seat of the United States presidency. Why would we believe? Why would we even? I mean, I understand it, but I know that we don't understand it. If we voting for anybody, we don't understand it. These days, males are eating too much pork, which causes you to lose testosterone and become soft. Okay, yeah, I don't know about. It's way worse than that. It's more to it than that. A protest vote. You voted for Cornel West as a protest. Actually, a protest vote is called abstaining. I vote not to vote. That's a protest vote. Means I abstain from voting. But I understand that. I respect the Cornel West vote. But the real protest is not participating whatsoever. That's what we used to do. If you're going to get anything done, like the boycott, Martin Luther King and all that, bus boycotts and all, that's what that means. It means, let me show you I don't rely on nothing that y'all got going on, and we'll do our own. We'll build our own. We'll get on our own bus lines or whatever. We'll have our own government. We'll keep dollars circulating through our own community. So that's how you protest. You don't protest by thinking that you're gonna put one of your own people in the heavily saturated majority of demonic system that been in place for thousands of years, and you think one of your chocolate chips is gonna get in there and change the flavor. Yeah, it's not gonna go like that. MP Marcus Garvey. What about Marcus Garvey? Salute. May God be pleased with Marcus Garvey. But what about Marcus Garvey? Joe Biden pardons his son, Hunter Biden, after saying over and over and over through the mouth of a black woman at the White House press room that he never would, he won't, he's not, he won't pardon. And a week or a month out, he starts a war and pardons his son. The very thing that he said he won't do. So how is he any better than the orange man? How is he any better than the orange man? On a roll, lack of participation would be black people's leverage. Exactly. Anything that we boycott, anything that we pull back and not support, including Christmas, Halloween, Easter, shopping, whatever. Anybody that we say is racist against us is Gucci or H&M and all the stuff that we constantly been doing demonstrations about. We just go right back. We go right back to sleep. We protest until they get desperate and they lower their prices. Now Gucci got a sale, and then we run right back. We're gonna break the picket lines and run and get them Gucci's at half price. That's what niggas do. That's what we do. Yeah. MP, that's the mission you're on, doing everything for ourselves. That's what he was about. Oh, okay, yeah, for sure. Yeah, do for self. And he was on back to Africa, but this is our land, so we can choose to go back to Africa or we can stay here because our blood, sweat, and tears have bought this land. This is our land. Angela Stanton King is speaking. Yeah, that's my sister. Where's she speaking at? Yeah, on the road. We the power source for sure. Honorable Elijah Muhammad instructed us not to vote due to false promises. Yeah, ever since Malcolm X. But when I hit them with these receipts earlier this year and last year and all of that, no, that's back then. That's the 60s. That's the 60s. That's a different time. Okay, what did your man Joe Biden just do? What did Kamala Harris just do? It's 2024. They just did exactly the same thing that Malcolm X and Elijah Muhammad was saying back in the 50s and 60s, right? So do we get an apology? Of course not. Of course not. Apology? Who you think you are? Right. I think I'm right. I think I'm an authority. I think I'm more wise and more correct than you. That's what I think I am. Am I not? All the shots that we done called as followers of Elijah Muhammad and Farrakhan have not took 1 goose egg, not one L. Not one of them has been incorrect. While you running out getting Fauci juices, you running out voting for your slave masters, your oppressors, you running out voting for so-called sister girls that already told you they ain't finna do nothing for you in form of reparations, while they doing all they possibly can in the form of reparations for her husband, small cap people in the rainbows. Who do I think I am? I think I'm smarter than you. I think I'm more divinely guided. I think I'm my track record, my history, my wisdom, my condition is superior. That's what I think. Now you can prove me wrong if you like to try. That's what I think, though, because in real life there are authorities. In real life there are superiors and inferiors. In real life, we're not equal. Everybody don't get a trophy. Everybody don't get an equality trophy. No, there's leaders and there's followers. You claim to be a leader, right? You claim to be a boss. Who you bossing? What's the condition of your company? Because the first company is your body, your health, and your relationship status. Are you the boss of your health? Because you're not in good shape. There's not real boobs you got, real butt you got, not real hair you got. You the boss of what? You got a man, you got a marriage, a family structure. Who you the boss over? So yeah, I think I'm wiser than that. I think I'm wiser. Now, Fisa, there are holidays and their chemicals, not voting for any of it. Avoid it all, right? Keep my heirloom blood as well. Absolutely. Supreme touch. Scripture says, vote for a king from your people as long as his head is Christ. Well, everybody can say Christ, right? But how do we prove it? How do we prove that Joe Biden was really his head is Christ? How do we choose that? How do we prove that Trump's head is Christ? How do we prove that Obama's head was Christ? How do we prove it? How do we prove that my head is Christ? How do we prove it? That's what I love. Proof. I love the proof game. I love that proof game. Let's prove it. Let's go. That's what we starving for. We destroyed for the lack of proof. Now, I believe you can feel and believe all day long, and we see that done got us nowhere. But I'm trying to figure it out. Y'all say that we were supposed to got the orange man out of here, and then you say God was with you. You said that's God's will. You got so many black preachers and all of that, or black Christians that was praying. Kamala Harris is changed. That's God's will. Kamala Harris is God's will. Why she didn't win? Why we got the orange man again? Which one of these God people, these black God people, said that the orange man was going to be the president? I can name one. Name Farrakhan. Farrakhan said he was going to be the last president of these United Snakes. Did y'all know that? This was way back in 2015, 14, 16, something like that. He said Trump was going to be the last president. And y'all laughed when the orange man lost to Biden 4 years ago, thinking that was going to prove that Farrakhan was a false prophet, that he got an L on his record. He got an L on his record. What that L look like? Look like a big ass W, right? Look like a big ass W to me. You know what last president means? The last president that America will have. Do you know what that means? Anybody want to be sober? Anybody want to put the joint down, the cigarette down, the pills down, the lean down, the alcohol down, and answer what that means? Trump will be the last president. Anybody want to touch that? Because ain't nothing else that Farrakhan said been proven false. Will this be proven false? Yusuf said it. Yusuf said it. It means the collapse of Babylon, collapse of the modern Sodom and Gomorrah, the modern Rome, the modern Egypt. The fall of America will be ushered in by the last president. Not saying it's his fault, it's just his time. Not saying that it's Trump's fault. It's all of their fault. It's every president from George Washington to Trump. It's all of their fault. It's the American people's fault for what they did to us, God's people, for the last 470 years. It's not just Trump's fault. It wasn't Hitler's fault. It was everybody that cooperated and agreed with Hitler, right? You can't blame that on Hitler. Hitler was like 5'5", 5'4" or something. That nigga wasn't no wizard. He didn't have no magical powers over the Aryans. They agreed with that. They carried it out. They was the muscle. Same with us. So it's time. It's just his time. It's time for him. It's time for America. No. Daryl Jackson, peace to you. Ain't that something? But, you know, we rather listen to entertainers. We rather follow entertainers. We rather follow people that tickle our ears and lie to us. You know how we love people that lie to us. Just lie to me. Just lie to me so good. Know they lying and then want to accuse Trump of being a liar when you know you lying to yourself. You lying to yourself worse than Trump lying to you. Worse than Biden is lying to you. Worse than Harris and Obama lying. You lying to yourself. You can't even come out the house with your real face, your real body, your real body count. Just lying. Just liars. Yeah. So, you know, the wages of sin, according to the Bible, and then claim the Bible. Shit, that's the ultimate hypocrisy. Then claim the Bible, claim Jesus, claim God, claim Allah, claim Muhammad, claim Moses, claim the Torah, claim Buddhism, claim Hinduism, whatever we own, claim yoga, whatever we own. Because, you know, once we get proven hypocrites in one religion, we switch up to something else. Oh, I'm metaphysical now. Or I'm new age now. Or no, I'm this now. Knowing that we ain't finna be chasing down the rules and regulations of that, because you're a hypocrite in that too. Oh, so some change your God? You didn't change gods, huh? Cool. Yeah, I don't stand a chance. If you changing gods like clothes, and I don't stand a chance. He's changing gods. Man. But yeah, man. Campaign trail. This is part of the pain and part of the trail. I just wanted to hear from anybody that voted for Biden, hear what y'all excuse was. Thought y'all was gonna break out your pom-poms and be a cheerleader for Biden. But I guess not. I guess not against Cam, huh? Get your Debo on. When I'm on, y'all be quiet. When I get off, y'all be talking again. Nafisa, thank you, Nafisa. Man, you be supporting Keeping the lights on over here at old Hotel 7. Salute the live yesterday. It was absolute fire. I wanted to call in, but you was cooking. Your daughter is a breath of fresh air. Man, that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. And it's not a flex. I don't be trying to necessarily flex. I be really trying to share with y'all what I do at home, what I share, how I live every day. So that's all that's about. You know, because if you got something to compare or to refer to, if I'm doing something with my daughters or my household or myself, my body or whatever that you think is valuable, then you can implement that sooner than I was able to. You know what I'm saying? You can start where I'm leaving off at. So if y'all got children or y'all about to have children or y'all have a relationship or whatever, and you younger than me, so you able to take what I'm trying to share and do more with it than I'm able to do, because you younger than me, or you know, the child or children that you might be having is going to be younger than mine. Don't be scared to stand on yours. Don't rely on this enemy for nothing, man. I mean, of course, we living in this world and certain things we do have to rely on them. But everything that you don't have to rely on them for, don't rely on them for. Especially when it comes to health and especially when it comes to teaching your children. Do not rely on them. Find your own righteous, natural, loving people to get that done with. Don't rely on them. Well, Trump is a gangster. Hell, they all are. Yeah, they all. I mean, that's what this business is. They gangstered this land from us, from the native indigenous people, right? All of it comes down to violence. All of it comes down to physical force. It'll start out as tricks and lies, rob, steal, loot, cheat, but ultimately it gets into bloodshed. It gets into physical force. That's why it's weapons of mass destruction. That's why it's bombs, and you know, America is called a superpower. It's not because they super righteous. They're not super educated. They're not super moral. They're not super healthy. Why are we the superpower? Because we got the super weapons of mass deletion. And we are the superior ones in proving that we cold-hearted and cold-blooded enough to use them. That's what. FBA, there.
What's up, Cam?
What's up with you?
Hey, yeah, Cam. So let me ask you a question. See, look, okay, let's just say, for example, right? Which I know you don't give a damn about that position, but let's say, for example, you the president, right? And in the late 80s, going into the early 90s, you was beating your chest talking about we need to be tough on crime. We don't care if it's a misdemeanor or a felony. We need to throw them all in jail. We need to do it and do it now and do it fast and do it firm. We can't take no exceptions. If they need rehab, let them take rehab in jail, as long as they're in jail. We need to put them in jail. And you were beating your chest and doing all that, right?
Right.
Then decades later, you finagle your way and scam your way to end up being the president. And now your son is on that glass dingling, right? And now your son is up there, you know, with these pedophile traits and getting high and sleeping with underage girls, right?
Well,
and,
yeah,
and
that's allegedly. Be careful.
Allegedly, right? But you know, you see that you're not gonna get a second term at your seat, your presidency seat. So you go on here and say, you know what, man, the hell with everything, man. You know, I think the system is crooked, and I know I'm crooked, so I'm gonna pardon my son. So how can the pot talk about the skillet and the skillet talk about the pot? You claiming that the Trump and company is bad for America, but I think that Biden was worse for America. What you think?
Well, I was already saying all of that for the past hour, so I don't know if you just now hopped on, but it's not about it's about what our people is talking about. We already know what they are, who they are, what they're capable of, what they have done, and what they will do. But so it's not even about being upset with them. It's about being upset with our own people that was believing in them and pushing them and forgiving them and voting for them to rule you instead of your own man to rule you. Why you ain't have your own man? Why you can't find your own baby daddy or your own black leader that's still alive and put that support behind him? Why you couldn't raise $1.5 billion for your own black leader? Why you have to do that for Kamala Harris or somebody? Because what did she do with it? She gave 20. She still owed 20 million of it to twerkers and shit.
Yeah, you correct. So, see, that's what I'm saying. You know, I don't understand why. You know, see the Democratic donors. See, they bigging up these people like The View, right? See, I see back when I was a kid, I thought this Whoopi Goldberg was an actor. I didn't know she was a coon and a sellout. You know what I'm saying? The View is making excuses about that situation, saying that I would have did the same thing if it was my son. I wouldn't leave my son in the hands of the new administration because they're pointing the finger at them, but they're not pointing the finger at they play in it. You know what I'm saying? Because all they doing is spewing a whole bunch of sellout and cooning in the media to the black community and keep pointing the finger and keep kicking black men down to the ground. You know, that I just can't, they pathetic at this point, man. I don't know why we getting it from The View now. We usually get it from the police and the rest of the
The View don't represent us. The View is sponsored by the small cap rainbow community. So all of Hollywood is always small cap rainbow agenda. Ramadani Duff, you say Trump is way worse. I just put up the StreamYard link. Hop on here with me and FBA, and I want to hear your proofs. That's why I posted this. So I definitely want to hear your proofs. I don't think you ever got on live with me before. I'm not sure why.
Yeah, Cam, tell him to pull up and say it with his chest, man. Whatever you gotta say, man, to say it with your chest, man. You know.
Yeah, I don't even support Trump like that. I don't support.
Yeah, I don't give a damn about Trump neither.
Yeah, I just want to hear if you're gonna get on here, you know what I'm saying, and say Trump is way worse. And I put up receipts earlier for the past hour, and you just saying Trump is way worse. That's kind of lame if you're not gonna show up and prove it. That's just lame. That just proves my point about how I don't know if you black, you Ramadani. I don't know if you black. I don't know if you Arab or whatever the name. Like I don't know.
Cam,
you know that's why I
Cam,
show
so
up.
you gotta understand. Cam, you gotta understand. It's a lot of Democratic shields out here coming out the woodworks, man, and they think that if you talk against the Democrats, that you on Trump's side. And they don't even know, man. Majority of black society, man, we don't give a damn about neither party. We never trusted neither party. But we know that as far as with politics go, that the Democrats have been more hurtful to us just as much, or if not more, than Trump and company. So
we'll see. Like that's just me and you talking, right? So I'm into
tell old boy to come up. Tell old boy to say it with his chest, man. And if Trump is worse, okay, say it. We don't care for Trump, but come over here. I want to hear his dialogue on it.
Yeah. Make us understand that Trump is worse with receipts, because I got receipts that say Trump ain't worse. He might be worse now. Any of them is potentially worse, but we talking about what he actually did versus what Biden actually did. So you are absolutely insane if you're saying that he is worse. He can be worse, but he hasn't been worse yet. So where you at, Ramadani?
He ain't gonna pull up, man. He ain't no G. He ain't got no heart.
I mean, why not though? If you're gonna type it, why not say it? That's I don't know. That's part of the mental and emotional dilemma that I deal with every day. Because you can't make a person be courageous enough to really stand on what they claiming. It's a lot of us that throw rocks and we hide our
Yeah,
hand.
Cam, see, you know, I call and pick your brain all the time, and I know damn well I ain't right about everything, and I know I ain't the smartest in the world, you know, but I know when I talk to you, bro, you know what I'm saying, I get laced. I leave you being with something
Ramadani,
new that I learned, bro.
hold on 1 second.
Yeah,
Ramadani,
say it with your chest,
please.
home.
Can you hear me? Your mic is on mute. You got to unmute your mic.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Hey, what's up? What's up? How you doing there? What's
Oh,
up,
you
bro?
got
How
it, bro.
doing,
You got
man?
it. You got it. You say Trump is
Yeah,
worse. What?
I heard you wanted to talk to me.
Absolutely. Don't you want to talk to me? Don't you want to prove your claim?
What question is what questions you want me? What questions you want to ask?
I'm asking for the proof that Trump is worse, is way worse.
I don't know. The way I don't know, man. The way I see it is just like I just you know I don't know, man. I just try to do what I can to try to avoid talking about this ever since, you know, he's been elected back in office. I just don't understand, like, why would anybody who voted for him, I mean, if you won't vote for him, that's your choice. Why would anybody vote for a felon?
When did he become a felon?
When he offered, when he had hush money for the porn star that he supposedly,
What year was that?
I think it was before Biden got into office or whatever like that. I don't know, after or before or after Biden got into office.
Was Obama a felon?
I don't think so.
What makes a person a felon?
A felon is, I don't know. I think what makes a person a felon, I don't know. I mean, I think what makes a person, they do some type of illegal crime they ain't supposed to be doing.
I'm just saying, what
Like
makes him a felon?
Like if you commit a some sort of an armed robbery and stick someone up, yeah, that could possibly make you a felon.
What does a felon mean? You got caught?
Yeah.
Is it a felon only a person that gets caught, or is a felon a person that does felony type crimes? Which one makes you a felon?
I think a felon makes you, I don't know, I think it makes you get caught. I think based upon what you said, yeah.
How old are you, Ramadani?
I am 43.
43. Are you from America, descendants of slaves? Are you from?
I'm from Omaha, Nebraska. Yes.
How did you how did you get the name Ramadani?
I got the name Ramadani from my dad.
Say that again.
I said I got the name Ramadani from my dad. From my dad, Richard. You know, for some reason he didn't. I don't know. For some reason he didn't. You know, he didn't want my name to be Chris or whatever like that. So I suppose Ramadani was like a unique name or something like that. I think Ramadani, supposedly, this is what he told me. I don't know for sure. It's supposed to mean like the part of God in Swahili. That's what Ramadani stands for.
Ramadani. Well, I know. Yeah, that's Arabic. So, but your father ain't
Arabic,
he wasn't a Muslim.
No, he wasn't a Muslim. No, he wasn't. He wasn't a Muslim.
Are you married?
And it's crazy because, and it's crazy. I don't want to cut you off, and it's crazy because a lot of people, when I was little, a lot of people when I told them what my name was, a lot of people thought I was Muslim, and I clearly said that no, I'm not Muslim at all. You know what I'm saying?
That's a Muslim name.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I know. Yeah.
But your pops wasn't a Muslim. Nobody in your family was Muslim.
Yeah. He just I don't know. He just decided to call me that for some reason.
Are you married?
No, I'm not.
You got children?
No, I don't. I don't have any children. No children.
You had to think about it.
Whatsoever. I've thought about having kids. I don't know. I just
No,
ain't met
I'm saying you had to think about whether you
right type of
had.
woman to have kids with. And what was that?
No, I said you said no, like you had to think about whether you actually had children already or not.
No, I don't. No, I don't have kids. No, I do not.
Okay.
You know,
Hey,
I'm a
Cam,
thinker.
can I ask
You
you
know, I
some
gotta.
questions, Cam?
Yeah.
Yeah, you.
Yeah, I
Can,
want to
yeah.
ask. I want to ask. I want to ask the kids some questions, man. Like, what so since you know Trump is worse in your opinion, right? So how do you feel about Kamami and company?
I don't think ain't nothing wrong with her. I just don't like the whole thing about people talking about, well, she ain't black, she ain't this, she ain't that. So, and
She
that's
ain't. She
the
ain't
thing
black.
that kind of.
She not black, sir.
Well,
She's not
we're not
black.
going there.
Then what is she?
Yeah, we're not
She's
about to
Indian.
entertain that. So yeah, I just wanted
Okay, I
to
leave that alone.
know Ramadani, you know what I'm saying, what your proofs was about Trump being way worse, as you said, and we kind of see where you at with it mentally. So I appreciate you for tapping in. Any business, you got any independent black business or something that you want to shout out that
No,
we can
not really.
support?
I'm going to school. I'm an online student up at at University of Nebraska Omaha, UNO.
Okay, that's what's up.
I'm taking classes for criminal justice.
Man, that's what's up. That's what's up. Well, man, you got our support and blessings, man. Well wishes, man. So anything else that you want to talk about, man, just let me know. I'll pull you back up.
Okay, man. Thank you. I appreciate it, brother Cam. Thank you.
All right, Ramadani. Peace,
Salute,
bro.
man.
Salute. All right. Salute to brother. So we see what that is, and I just like to test and see what's what and who's who. And salute to our brother and both of our brothers, FBA Dynasty as well. So I'm not FBA, you know what I'm saying? I'm not, once you see what something is, then you're supposed to know how to
follow you.
Yeah.
I follow you.
Because we might be, in a certain grade of sparring, we looking for a certain, competition, and when you see it ain't that, then you don't get no points for that.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. For sure, Cam, man. I'm gonna drop down, man. It's always, always gonna tap in and pick your brain because you sharpen me up, bro.
Man, likewise. So yeah, I'm here.
Likewise.
Anything you want to holler about, man, I'll pull you back up.
Yeah, one left.
One. Yeah, man. It's y'all start. G from the Bay. Salute. Cuts by KD. I see you. Adam Johnson. Sin G. Yeah, y'all, it's all love. We see. Big Keith. It's all love. It's all love. See Allah. Every president is a felon. That's what I was trying to get across. But as long as y'all understand it, and you could use these methods of communication with people that you don't have to clash. You don't got to bump heads with them. You can ask real respectful questions in a certain type of spirit, certain type of tone, and you see what time they on and like, oh, okay. No problem. No threat. There's no threat here. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's no reason for me to react or retaliate or mount up or nothing like that. But I do go into it thinking that you're on that level. Like, you know what I'm saying? I gotta assume that anybody that oppose, anybody that opts, that, that demonstrates they optness, I gotta assume that they on my level. So I'm gonna respect them like I respect me. I'm thinking that we finna go. And when I see what it is, then okay, all good. You're not even my op. You my brother, and you know what I'm saying? We just need to communicate differently. That's all. Right. Safi, exactly. All respect. I want respect. I want to be respected. I'm so used to being disrespected that I'm in defense retaliation mode, but it ain't always warranted. You know what I mean? I don't want to step on somebody that really wasn't, you know, worthy, you know, worth stepping on, so to speak, or didn't deserve to be stepped on. Salute, Lance. What up, Lance? So I call it out again. Anybody that voted for Trump, I mean, not Trump, Biden or Harris or Obama, I would love to compare felonies. I would love for you to get on here with me and compare Trump's felonies to Biden's felonies or Hunter Biden's felonies, because that's what people keep on throwing in your face now all of a sudden. Trump got 34 convictions, 34 convictions. Okay, 34 convictions of what? Felony convictions in what area? Was it high crimes and treason? Was it crimes against humanity? Or was it him trying to pay $130,000 to a pornography star that he smashed, that he wanted her to be quiet so he could run for president? Are all sins equal? Did what Joe Biden did to black people for 40 years, is that equal? Did what Hunter Biden did, is that equal to Trump's felonies? And they didn't even get convicted. They didn't even go to trial for it. So just because they didn't go to trial, are they not felons? Anybody want to talk to me about this? That's all I'm trying to say. Who determines whether we are felon or not? Whether you get convicted? Whether you get convicted? You're only a felon if you get convicted? So you could say he's a convicted felon? So are there any black men that's convicted in the penitentiary system that are innocent, that really wasn't guilty, even though they're convicted felons? So that don't exist, huh? Not saying that Trump is innocent at all, but we saying the lesser of the evils, right? Remember? We got him out of there because Biden was the lesser of the two evils, remember? I can't get nobody to talk to me about the lesser of the two evils no more. That don't apply no more. That you just like Biden, huh? Yeah, that we was pushing that into the end until, you know, we don't feel like pushing that no more, and now we just gonna pardon that. We're gonna pardon that. Like I pardoned my son. Oh, okay. Well, take one to know one, right? You must be like the one Zaddy that you voting for. That must be your character too when it come down to it, and somebody press you with the truth. You gonna just flip-flop and do your own thing. You know, it ain't about the lesser of the two evils. It's about how I feel. That's how that go, right? That's what you attracted to. You attracted that type of a leader, right? You attracted to that type of a leader and you voted for that type of leader. Is this y'all's king, right? This is y'all's king, right? Sleepy Creepy Joe, Weekend and Bernie, Fire Marshal Bill, that's y'all king, right? You wanted Harris to be y'all queen, y'all woman king. But I guess the laws and the forces of nature was like, nah, F that. We ain't even gonna let that happen. We ain't even gonna let the God that you believe in was like, nah, hell no. This is enough. The God was like Popeye, like, let me crack open this can of spinach. This is all I can stand. I can't stand no more. That nigga, God wasn't even having that bullshit. KMS. Obama had presidential immunity, so he can't be charged with a crime. I don't want to join though, because I understand your point. I don't understand that. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I don't. That's just like the electoral college, and if a person have presidential immunity, they can't be charged with a crime. They can't be convicted because they're a president. That already lets you know that's Satan. That's satanic. So why would our people be bragging and throwing that title or throwing that conviction? He's a convicted felon. He's a when you know the game is corrupt in the first place. The rules is satanic in the first place. Why would you be throwing satanic rules at righteous warlord, righteous representatives? That's just pure insanity. You want to throw Satan's rules at God's people. Damn. Yeah, I guess you think that's what works. That's what you think is success, right? Everybody else doing it. Shit, what's the use of being right and being holy and being truthful all the time? You can't get no money like that. All right, well, I guess money is your God. I guess that's what you after. You get rich at all costs, any means necessary, right? Luckily, Jesus and the real revolutionaries, we didn't care about money like that. There's other niggas that sold out for 30 pieces of silver or through, try to make a den of thieves, turn the church into a money grab. You know what I mean? But yeah, I guess that's it, man. Unless y'all want to add to this. Thank you again, Nafisa, for the super chat and for the cash app. Hotel 7 over here. Seventh Heavens. Monday. Yeah, what is this? Did y'all see Candace Owens? I be still pushing that. Y'all might want to check out Candace Owens today's episode because she go into the Hunter Biden thing and his crimes and his collusion with Ukraine and one of the reasons why we America is even at war or about to be at war and why Russia is at war with Ukraine right now is because well, I ain't gonna say because, but Hunter Biden and Joe Biden have something to do with that. Hunter Biden and Joe, according to the receipts that Candace Owens presented, y'all might want to go check that out. That's y'all king again. That's y'all mans in them again. The one that y'all voted for, White Zaddy, that didn't apologize, still doubled down, and still you went and ran out and voted for him instead of voting for your own man, your own baby daddy. Check out Candace Owens. I don't know how long she's gonna, be in position. Just like Drake. I don't know what's going on with Drake. I don't know how long he's gonna be in position. Shouts out Glasses, G Malone. I've seen TMZ, CIA, TMZ trying to give Glasses his shine today, saying that Charlemagne vindicated him regarding his position towards Drake. And he been saying that for years or whatever. Shouts out my young bro, G Malone. Shouts out Big Steel, Digital Soapbox Network. Ghost Rider 74. Why are people still not understanding who wrote the 3 strike law or deal for us? They understand. They do understand. So since they understand and they still pushing for this dude and voted for him, what does that say about them? What does that make them? They understood that. They fully knew the result, the receipts, and they still did it. So what does that make them? Are they not worse than Candace Owens? Are they not worse than whatever sellout that they claim certain black people are? Who's worse? Candace Owens or people that voted for Joe Biden? Black people. Black people that voted for Joe Biden that call Candace Owens a sellout. I would love to run that comparison right there. I would love to do that little comparison. Who's the bigger sellout? Candace Owens, for whatever reason y'all say she's a sellout, or you, if you black and you voted for Joe Biden. Right? Everybody got reasons. And now I got reasons. Niggas turn into Earth, Wind, and Fire and shit all of a sudden. The reasons that we... Well, let's hear the reasons. Yeah, everybody not gonna make it, Ghost Rider. They're not, I guess, supposed to. It's not written that way. They could if they chose to, but they're not choosing. Voters of Biden. according to Nafisa, she say, you know, like I say, I think that the biggest sellouts are the voters for Biden. That's what I think. Because for one, Candace Owens ain't running for no office to rule us. Candace Owens is running for a journalism award or something. She just wants to disseminate information, you know, based on maybe whatever her agenda is, but she's not running for no office to rule over us. So right there already loses the game. That already causes those that call her a sellout to lose the game. I made the challenge yesterday for anybody to show me what Candace Owens has said against black people or against the black community that I ain't said worse against us, or that Minister Farrakhan ain't said worse, or the Honorable Elijah Muhammad ain't said worse, or any member of the Nation of Islam or student minister hasn't said worse about us. What has Candace Owens ever said that we ain't said worse about our own people since she's a sellout? If she's a sellout, what the hell was Kamala Harris? Since she lost, since we could talk about her now because she lost, because the Lord said, no, you ain't finna be the president. How is Kamala Harris not a sellout? If Candace Owens was a sellout, how is Kamala Harris not a sellout? Since I'm not getting no responses anyway, I'm not getting no ops. You know it's burning you up inside, but you won't show up for the glow up. You won't show up for the glow up no more, huh? Man. Hey, well, at least you know my position. I ain't gonna overbeat it. Ahmad say the Boule are cohesive with Biden peoples. Yeah. They say the Boule. Say the Boule is strong out here. The Boule is deep in these streets, Taraji. They deep in the streets, Taraji. I want to stay on here, man, for 20 something more minutes, but I don't want to bore y'all. If y'all, you know, y'all don't got nothing to say or y'all don't want me to speak on that, I'll hop off. I want to be good company on this mundane Monday, but I don't want to waste y'all energy or y'all time and go flat, get flat like a Sprite that been open for 2 days. Ernest, this is boring. Which part is boring? We can make it not boring if you want to hop on here with me. There go the StreamYard link, Ernest. I'm not sure what you mean by this is boring, but it could get real exciting real fast if you hop on this live with me. So I don't know, you know. I don't know. King Z, the greatest enemy is a serpent. They sneak on you, then strike. 30 years later, we forget Joe Biden bit us and then ran back into the grass and hid. 30 years later, y'all got votes, got y'all votes to strike us again. Absolutely, King Z. Absolutely. Absolutely. Ernest, where you at, man? Hop on here with me, or then I get off. I don't want to bore you. The rest of y'all bored? Ernest said he's bored, or this is boring. I'm not sure what this is, but let me know, man. Let me know, Ernest. Ghost Rider said Candace still riding because she can't change her blackness no matter what. Yeah, I agree. She can be She can be contradicting. 1 minute she speaks bad about hip hop and rap. The next minute she's praising them after the Super Bowl. Contradicting is a sellout. I'm not sure. I thought it's contradicting the same as a sellout. Because people is saying that she's a sellout. So I don't know if is Kamala Harris. We talking about Kamala Harris or we talking about Candace Owens? I want to compare Candace Owens and Kamala Harris. Anybody willing to do that? Did y'all vote? Did anybody vote? Kingdom United Glasses is on the record with one of my artists from 2013, Benji Bucks, a song called Gassin' that I co-wrote. That's what's up. Salute, Kingdom. Oh, Candace Owens. So yeah, I'm trying to figure it out. So I would bring up Malcolm X. I always bring up Malcolm X, right? While Malcolm X was Detroit Red, before he was Malcolm X, he was Detroit Red. Was Detroit Red a sellout? Detroit Red was selling girls and maybe selling boys and maybe doing drugs, and allegedly he was doing some rainbow activity according to somebody's autobiography or something that came out a few years ago. Was Detroit Red a sellout? Anybody want to answer that? Was Detroit Red a sellout? American Negro News. I've not voted since Obama put that rainbow flag on the White House. At that point, I tapped out. I tapped out the game. Oh man. Nafisa said, I don't like a woman being president. I like Candace Owens over Kamala. Hannah Rose say, no participation in voting. It doesn't work for our people. I mean, that's facts. Has it worked? Why should we believe it works when it hasn't worked yet? For however many years now, since the 60s or whatever, we got the right to vote. Why would you want to do something that they waited until the 60s to even give you the right to do? I was born in the 60s. Shit. Like, damn. If they ain't changed that much. So one generation is different now. We living in a whole different America. White America is different. They just barely gave Martin Luther King a holiday in Arizona or something when in the 90s. That's the 90s. So I'm just trying to figure it out. What has so we got Malcolm X. We're using Detroit Red, Malcolm Little, Detroit Red as our template, as our example. So we agree, let's say we agree that Candace Owens and Kamala Harris ain't shit. They not shit for black people, right? Just like Malcolm X wasn't shit. I mean, not Malcolm X, Detroit Red. Malcolm Little wasn't shit for our people. But then he became, Malcolm X. I don't know, you can do your homework and see how many years it took for him to transform and grow from Detroit Red when he was in a prison to he studied or whatever, studied the dictionary, and however many years it took him to finally, submit and obey and tap in, lock in with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Nation of Islam teachings, to where now he's the spokesperson. Now he's a revolutionary black spokesperson, not yet a leader. He wasn't a leader yet. He didn't become a leader until the 60s, right? He came in, he was in the nation for 11 years, right? So we got the receipts, we got the time frame, we got the numbers, we got all of the specifics. So Candace Owens, from the time that she turned on her she came awake to the Zionism wickedness and Hollywood wickedness and all this that she's talking about within this this administration right here, is she faster? Is she moving faster than Malcolm X did? Is she growing and taking on the real enemies, the biggest enemies, faster than Malcolm did? Yes or no? Anybody? Anybody know the answer to that? Compared to Kamala Harris, has she even begun? She started out faking and snaking. She started out a plant from her mother and MK Ultra and them allegedly planted into the black community. Why would you plant yourself in the black community? Why would you want to go to Howard and join the HBCUs and all that only to end up marrying who you married? End up crafting, laws and helping draft laws that locks up black men. Which one of us is the most dangerous? Which evils was worse? Which one was the lesser of the two evils? Anybody? Cote say, I saw the interview with student minister Ishmael Muhammad today on What's Up Kansas City, and that interview was profound. Check it out. Okay, I'm not sure I know which one you're talking about, but yeah, everybody definitely look that up. Student minister Ishmael Muhammad interview, Kansas City. What's Up Kansas City? Owens doesn't believe in reparations. She thinks reparations is ridiculous. She might have thought that. What was the date that she said that? I haven't heard that. I've been listening to it for a while now, for the last couple of years. I haven't heard that. So if she has said it, Malcolm X used to say, I need to sell these females to these Johns. So what we said in the past and what we did in the past compared to what we're doing right now in the present is what I want to compare. And then I want to compare that to what Kamala Harris has done in the past and what she's doing in the present. Hassan, my bad. No, sir, in my humble opinion, Candace is being guided by her handlers. It's called warfare. Let's talk about that, man. Let's talk about that. If you're willing to get on here with me, because let's talk about who her handlers are. Who do you think her handlers are? I disagree, because I know something about handlers. I know something about the hidden handler, the hidden hand of the handlers. You feel like getting on here with me, Hassan? And let's talk about that for the last few minutes, last 5-10 minutes that I'm gonna be on here. Say, no, sir. In my humble opinion, Candace is being guided by her handlers. It's called warfare. Which handlers and what warfare? Hop on here with me real quick. There's the StreamYard link. I just posted Digital Soapbox Network. And we know it's just opinions. You know what I'm saying? It's just, I think that's an intelligent discussion that we can have, because, I disagree. So that's something that we need to let our people see, how wise people disagree respectfully, intellectually, intelligently. Whose warfare is it? Y'all all welcome to hop on here with me. Ahmad Jabril said, I disagree too. You disagree with Hassan, or you disagree with my position? It's just good. It's just good content, I think. Candace is being guided by her handlers. Who's not being guided by their handlers? That's what I'm asking, Daryl Jackson. Candace Owens' handlers, she just sued Rabbi Shmuley. I like her handlers. So who is her handlers? Who exactly is her handlers? Hassan. Who is Candace Owens' handlers, and which warfare are you talking about? But I guess how many minutes ago was that? Tafi, he said, "Good question." Somebody answer. I mean, Hassan can answer. you want to put it out there? But I guess that's how it go, right? That's how it goes around here. Ernest said our system is full sellout traps. Full of sellout traps. We all could be in one at any time. The ghetto poverty Candace is being guided by viewership. Is she? Can anybody get on here with me? Because I don't, waiting on typing. You know what I'm saying? Just to play devil's advocate, Nafisa say no one thinks that it was a publicity stunt, especially her Pierce Morgan appearances. Our system is full of sellout traps. We all could be in one at any time. Am I in a sellout trap? Is the Nation of Islam a sellout trap? Is Farrakhan a sellout? I'm trying to get right to the meat and potatoes. Like, I don't like to do vague, general, broad stroke brush. That don't get nowhere. That's actually kind of sinful to necessarily throw out evil suggestions without pinning nothing down. Cole Taylor, student minister Ishmael interview I saw is on YouTube, and he was in Kansas City. The interview was 8 days ago. Got you. Daryl Jackson say cold conversation. Yeah. I don't know, man. I'll be feeling, I don't know, it's like a bully. I'm not trying to be a bully. Sheesh, man. People scared to have a conversation with me live. A lot of people, when they be talking about Candace, they talk about her before she shifted gears and stood up against Zionism. Right. I mean, but most of our people is on a late freight anyway. We stuck worshiping dead leaders, claiming that we following dead leaders. We ain't up to speed and up to date on nothing. Right? Even thinking that we supporting Biden and supporting Harris or Trump, we still on the late freight. So that's what I try to do. I try to soberly keep us on modern time, get on present time. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, my man said it was boring. You didn't ever really tell me what was boring, Ernest. Anybody want to get on here with me? Right. Folks just love to repeat talking points. I wonder 78. That's what I'm saying. Have an organic conversation. Have a live organic conversation. That's what I do. You don't ever see me with no books, no notes, no nothing. I might come on here with like a little clip of something that I'll play and then just react live organically. I don't know what it's gonna say. I don't know what I'm gonna say. That's how adults are supposed to communicate. You know what I mean? Especially if you got a opinion or you got an accusation, and then we don't be coming with no type of proof, no receipts, no nothing. Just that's something. So maybe I need to shut up. Maybe I'm casting what I think is pearls before swine. That people are saying I'm boring and this is boring and what happened to such and such, and I know it would be just trolls, but it could get real exciting if you hop on. It could get real exciting. But we don't want that kind of excitement, right? We don't want no real live excitement. Put that on me. That's up to you. This is your channel. You're supposed to keep us entertained. Well, I'm trying to keep you entertained. Is this not your king? It's not your king. Shit, like Gladiator 2. I'm not finna do no Denzel. I'm not finna get to kissing on no men and shit for you. I'll slay a few of them for you, but shit, y'all gonna call me a felon. Just being a female with feelings, laugh out loud. My solar plexus don't trust her all the way. That's why women shouldn't vote. Right. G from the Bay, bored people should just leave. Yeah, adults should never say that. Like, I didn't want to go there with it. I didn't really understand what he meant. I don't know if he was saying that I'm boring or the subject of Harris or politics is, well, I don't know, but just the fact that I don't know is part of the problem. Yeah, no adult should ever say they bored. That's not for adults. That's a child term. Only children get bored. Only children should say they get bored because it's too much warfare. It's too much to do. It's too much enemies and too much to accomplish for an adult to say I'm bored. Real adults would never say I'm bored. They'll say I'm tired. They'll say I'm tired or I'm lazy or whatever. They're gonna keep it 1,000. They ain't gonna never say I'm bored. So now, if he said anyone that's bored is just a boring person or childish. You looking for entertainment. You at the wrong channel. You looking for the Megan Thee Stallion concert. You looking for, what's her name? Harris campaign. You looking for entertainment guests, celebrity guests. We over here dealing with real warfare problems. Since you said, we say it's warfare. Show me that you understand warfare. Have a warfare conversation with me live. Then we'll be able to tell if it's boring or not. A warfare conversation about military science. Cote say Kamala Emhoff was and is a dangerous woman and not good for our people from the jump. Why did so many of our sisters vote for her? Why did so many of our people vote for her, though, Cote? Knowing that she was dangerous, knowing what her and Biden did to our community for the last 4 or 5 decades straight and doubled down on it and stood on it and now pardoned his own son while we still locked up. What does that say about our people? What does that say? What does that say about why I took the position that I took for the last 30-something years? Can we trust our people? Can we trust the masses of our people to make the right decisions, to be wise enough to guide our people? Can we trust our baby mamas? Can we trust anybody that would vote? Really, I'll just say for anybody. Can we trust anybody that would vote? Any of our people that would vote for one of the descendants of slaves to be our ruler for 4 more years? For 4 years, for 4 days. Right? Is that making sense? G from the Bay. No greens will be washed in the bathtub on this on this channel. Not on this channel. You won't catch no greens in the bathtub or no hot sauce in the purse on this channel. No, you won't. Ernest, I would like to talk someday, but it's requiring me to open a Google account for privacy reasons. I don't want it to open one. Yeah, I don't know about all that. Yeah, I guess, man. I guess you think that if you own here as Ernest, they don't already got your information. I don't know what to tell you, Ernest. That's a kind of a weak excuse. If you own here, period, they got your information already, Ernest. August night, we can't trust our women at all, unfortunately, in the present condition that they're in. The majority of them, I'm not saying all of them, but the vast majority of them. Yeah. American Negro News, never let any man or woman lead you to believe that you are boring. Oh, okay. I'm about to say, like, not American Negro News, like, not my, I know. Yeah, never let them lead you to believe that you boring. These messages are for educational purposes, right? Not to entertain ignorant people. Oh, man, thank you, man. See, that's why you got the wrench. I was like, man, yeah, tighten me up right there. I'm so used to people falling off on me. It's that season, boy. He's just falling off, turning the other direction. Nothing bores me. Yeah, I wouldn't say nothing bores me. Yeah, I don't get into something that's gonna bore me. I don't even understand that concept as an adult. I don't understand that as that concept. Bore. I'm just gonna do something. I'm just gonna do something else. Like I don't understand that as an adult. That's a child concept. Did that make sense? Randall Robinson said you have to make a page to chat. Daryl Jackson, sisters leaving the USA because Trump is president. Yeah, right. This is an academy. Always learn something new. Salute. Yeah, if you bored, maybe I don't even know if you was even in the penitentiary, how you would even be bored in jail. If you was in jail, would you call that bored? Would you say you was bored if you was in jail? Or would you open a book or do some push-ups or go to the library or what is bored? I don't understand that. Jesus King.
Peace, Kim. It's King Tony.
Oh yes, sir. Peace to you. What's good with you, Tony?
Just came to hearing what you were speaking on about and mind you, just to let you know, I got off work. It's 12 a.m. EST, so I'm laid back. That's why I ain't like on the camera moving around.
It's all good. All love. What you think about what you heard so far about the title?
Yeah, I actually don't know a lot about Candace. I got to do more research on her to give like a full opinion, but I like the stuff that I do hear and I have seen about her. Her very like well-spoken black queen, and it would be better to see her with somebody, but she love who she love, I guess. You know what I'm saying? I got to do my research, but a lot of her commentary and the way she's really assertive on certain controversial topics, things that might even be considered conspiratorial, she be really going at it and pulling the receipts. So I like Candace for the most part. Her work that I've seen. I don't know about the reparations thing. I haven't seen her say anything against that. I support reparations.
Well, even if she said reparations was ridiculous or something that the sister said she said, how was that worse than what Kamala Harris said about reparations?
Right.
Because that's what I'm doing. I'm comparing them. Which one is the biggest sellout? Right. Which one is? How could you vote for Harris and call Candace Owens a sellout?
Very oxymoronic in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? And Kim, I want to tell you, you the first man I ever heard in my life with that concept outside of myself of never acknowledging boredom as an adult. I swear on I did time. I had 12 years. I did 5 years in maximum security prison. So that whole concept of boredom is absolutely for the immature.
Yeah. absolutely juvenile or infantile or
Yeah.
you know.
I always tell people this. This was my thing. I always just say, you ain't got enough money to be bored. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Bored. There's
right.
you know what I'm saying? That's for people who's secure in a lot of areas of their life. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got
Man.
enough money to understand boredom. That's when you could go back to being a kid.
Man, that's real. Hassan said warfare is always evolving. Going after such and such is safer now because the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan already exposed them. So that is not very revolutionary. Damn. Really? Are you a Muslim? Hassan Mumin, man, you get on here with us. Me and Tone wanna hear from you. You ain't even gotta show your face. Just do what Tone is doing. Because that's incredible. That's an incredible statement that I would like to make credible. I would like you to make credible if you would.
I don't understand his point, but you know what I'm saying? Kamala is definitely not for our people. You know what I'm saying? The quote unquote Black American. She already made a public statement saying she wouldn't do anything for this particular group that is identified as Black Americans, and she already has done things for other specific demographics and groups that identify. So, you know, she made her position clear. So she can't even be a sellout because she ain't of the culture.
Who is that,
So
Candace or Harris?
Harris, how you gonna sell out something you was never really included in?
Right. She can't even buy in. She
You know
let
what I'm
alone
saying?
sell out.
So at the end of the day, she playing a lot of psychological warfare on the masses, and that's why she trying, to identify with, using theatrics by, bringing Black women on who for a price. That's why we seen the Meg Thee Stallions and whoever else was up there clowning for her,
Right.
trying to persuade.
Hold on 1 second. Top tier entertainment. It says you need to connect your mic and slash camera before they can add you to the stream. So you got to connect your mic and your camera. Top tier, but I see you. There you go. Top tier.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Ken. But she can't even be a sellout. She ain't a part of the group.
Right. Harris was never in, even though, they planted her. Her parents, her mama planted her. She was a plant in the Black community in Oakland, right? And she went to Howard or HBCU and pledged AKA. So, she went through the whole camouflage, thing to fit in.
You know what's ill, Kim? What people, I have not heard anybody make this connection. People don't know this. Howard University is the #1 recruiting agency for the CIA.
Yeah, I didn't know that. That's something to look up. Tone said Howard University is the #1 recruiting agency or ground
It is
for the CIA.
For the CIA. That's where they go. Howard. I forgot where I seen that, but now they said her mother was CIA. They saying everybody got somebody. See what people don't know about the CIA is that they supposed to only focus on international things, and they actually be doing a lot of stuff in the country that they ain't got no business doing.
You mean they supposed to be doing national, not international?
No,
CIA is Central Intelligence.
No, FBI handles our national investigations. That's why they're the Federal Bureau of Investigation. They do federal. They handle national. It's the CIA who goes abroad, but they be mingling a lot in, they not supposed to. Like it's in their charter, in their mission statement. They were organized in 47 for that specific reason.
Right. Top tier.
Yes, sir.
What's your thoughts? What you want to speak on?
Oh, yes, sir, brother. First of all, Thank you for allowing us to get on and just share some
Definitely.
comments with you. So
Appreciate
yes, I kind of agree to disagree with Candace Owens, simply because that the things that, and I'm not comparing, because I didn't vote for Kamala either, but I do study warfare. And if you would allow me to just read one small section on a type of warfare that I think Black people are not familiar with, it's called neocortical warfare. So neocortical is NEOCORTICAL. And it's just a real small paragraph, and I like to just use that as a base before we get in a little bit more, as I know you were speaking about strategies of warfare.
No, I appreciate that. Go ahead.
So neocortical warfare is warfare that strives to control or shape the behaviors of an enemy organism, but without destroying the organism. It does this by influencing, even to the point of regulating, the conscious perceptions and will of the adversary. When we meet our objectives, the adversary's perceived choices are voluntarily unaware that their decisions and behaviors have been led and prescribed for them. The object of war is to subdue the hostile will of the enemy, or to make the enemy comply with our will. In complex ways, it strives to present the adversary its collective brain with perceptions, sensory, and cognitive data designed to result in a narrow and controlled and an overwhelmingly large and disorientating range of calculations and evaluations. The product of evaluations and calculations are adversary choices that correspond to our desired choices and the outcomes we desire. So that's neocortical warfare.
That's just psychological warfare.
Yeah.
That's all that means. That just means psychological warfare. And
No, it's actually a little bit different, brother. I actually study this, and I have a whole book on it.
How old are you,
Psychological warfare is a little bit different than
Top tier.
neocortical.
How old are you?
Myself, I'm 45. I can read the definition. I actually have a whole book on warfare. I do this.
I understand. So how many years have you been in the military?
Well, I was in the military for 4 years, but I have several. I actually don't want to get into it right now, but I have a background in it. So I'm just laying out a couple of things that, because it's actually much more complex than that. It's just a small definition, but it's actually whole entire books and on just that alone, and many different tactics and strategies. So the one thing that I would just respectfully say is, I didn't vote for Kamala or Candace Owens, but I do believe, at least this far, I would be a little bit hesitant to jump out there and prop up Candace Owens's name, just simply for the fact that we're seeing not just her, but we're seeing that in the system of white supremacy, we do see white people adopting this method and tactic as well. Such as even Tucker Carlson.
Are you a member of any Black organization?
No, sir. I don't. I'm a member of the Black race, and that's who I stand with. That's who I'm gonna fight
that's not
with.
an organization.
No,
Black
not
people aren't an organization, and we're not even a race.
Yes, sir. I understand that. I'm just using that for just layman's terms.
Have you ever voted for any president in your life?
No, sir.
Any particular reason? Because you joined the military. So if you joined the military, why didn't you vote?
Well, my father didn't give me a choice. I was 18. He said, either go to college or the military. So I didn't really move quick enough. And one day
that is a choice.
Well, I wasn't going to the college. I didn't have any intention to go to college. So I did my 4 years and I got out.
That stopped you from voting?
No, I just never saw. I just understand that voting is never going to really solve Black people's, especially at the national elections.
Did you think that going to the military would solve something?
No, No,
over college?
I needed to do something. My father didn't want me to be in the house and not do anything. So I was 17 at the time, and that was the decision that, he laid down, and I respected his wishes. It wasn't something I would have chose to do, but I knew I wasn't going to go to college either. So I figured do the 4 years and get out and move on with my life. And I did that.
I mean, I hear you. So let's get back to what's warfare and what's not warfare. So you were saying that this wasn't psychological warfare or not. And so aside from that, so now with that paragraph, what's that? Somebody got to mute up or something.
Okay, yes, sir. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's not me.
With that paragraph that you read about what warfare is, a certain kind of warfare. Now, based on that, you saying that you Ernest, right? You Ernest?
No, sir. My name is Tom. Called Tim.
Oh, my bad. So after since you laid that foundation, so you want to say what about Harris versus Candace Owens and warfare?
Yeah, I came in at I guess at the section where you had asked about Candace Owens, so I didn't really hear the whole section about Kamala. I'm just chiming in on that section of it because I didn't believe that Kamala was. I thought that was just another poor choice that was given to Black people to select from. Obviously, it didn't. It worked out the way that whatever the system desired, but I didn't see anything beneficial in Kamala Harris for Black people.
Who do you think is I don't, because I thought you was somebody else. Who do you think is worse for Black people, Kamala Harris or Candace Owens?
I think that Kamala Harris overall, if she would have become the president, would have been very, very destructive for Black people.
No, I'm saying is not would have, should have, could have. Who is, based on both of their track records already, what they have done, who is worse for Black people?
Well, can I answer it this way, if I may?
You can answer however you want.
Yes, sir. I think that Kamala, obviously, if she was to become the president, I think she would have been disastrous. But I also believe that because Candace Owens has a better mouthpiece and she has a better way of articulating her message, that she's more appeasing to Black people, because Black people seem to have a very short memory when it comes to the outrageous statements that she would make about Black people for years upon years. And it's just in the recent past couple of years, even we could even say year, that she's began to change her rhetoric.
Who is this? Harris or
Candace Owens?
What did she say ridiculous about Black people?
Well, she was. I mean, if you go back and look at some of her early,
I need you to give me something specific, because you just accused her of saying something ridiculous. I'm not saying you're wrong, but you can't make that accusation and not give us a specific example.
Well, she's actually has stood up and said that Black people are really kind of like babies and children in terms of there's no real gripe. And I'm just paraphrasing, that Black people should continue to say that white people have done things and are currently doing things to stop them or impeding their progress. Now, to a degree, she is right.
Are you familiar with the NOI and like Minister Farrakhan or Honorable Elijah Muhammad saying even worse than that?
Yeah, I'm not saying that she's wrong, but to say that there's not an active system in place that's actively doing things such as your industry, the music industry and the television industry and the agricultural food industry, and many things that they do to decimate us on a daily basis, which is all different types of warfare. So to say that there's nothing that's currently being done to divert us or steer us down a certain direction, absolutely ridiculous.
I haven't heard that. You still paraphrase quoting her, so I'm not going to let you put a straw man thing together and then argue it when you haven't presented the clip. But I'm just trying to, from your from your perspective, you saying that she has said something, you heard her say something way more hurtful against black people than you heard me say, or Minister Farrakhan, or Elijah Muhammad, or Nation of Islam. She said something worse than what we say about our own people?
No, I wouldn't say that she said something worse. I would say that she's been, for some reason, well, let me put it like this. The minister does it with balance, and he does it with love.
Well,
from what
truth
I've
is
seen.
truth. I understand that, but
Candace
that's
Owens didn't
emotion.
say it with balance of love. She said it.
That's still emotion. So as men, if we men and we military men, it got nothing to do with love. Is she telling the truth or not?
No, she didn't tell the truth. It was, in my opinion, she said it in a way with vitriol, and she said it to gain points.
It can be. We're not talking about what her motives are, bro. That's feelings.
Okay, go ahead.
You're a military man, we don't care about feelings or vitriol. Is she lying or is she not lying?
Oh yeah, well then, yeah, 100%. She was being deceptive. To say
what was she
that,
lying about?
To say that current day, that there's no obstacles that are being put before black people by white society is not true.
Well, I ain't heard her say that. So I'm just saying, I hear you. So I would need you to come back and actually show the clip in context, because I can't allow that. But I hear you. I'm not discarding or invalidating or what you're trying to say, but I can't allow you to just say she said that and you don't present.
It makes sense. No, it makes sense, because I didn't know that. If I would have known, we would have been a little bit more prepared. But this is just.
If anybody has a gripe against somebody, and I'm gonna allow you to publicly air it out, I'm gonna kind of want you to at least be more, specific in your quotes, or actually say, okay, on this instance she was on such and such, or she said this. You know what I'm saying? But if you're just saying, well, you heard that she said this before and this and that. And you say you 45, right?
Yeah. Can I ask you a question, my brother?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Has Candace Owens in what you've seen, I think you follow her a little bit more than me. Has she advocated black people getting their own schools, hospitals, feeding themselves, removing themselves from the white people's names, black on black marriages? Has she advocated any of those critical strategies that the Nation of Islam advocates?
Well, the most critical strategy she's been advocating is attacking and exposing our greatest enemy, or second to the greatest enemy, which is the synagogue of Satan. So I don't look to her for those other things. That didn't come on my radar. You know what I mean? Those is way beneath levels of importance when it comes to making actual war with the beast. As far as trying to tell us what we can and should do for ourselves, that's a whole different subject. And warfare, we're talking about warfare. That means identifying an enemy, right? We're not talking about do for self. That's not quote unquote that's not warfare per se. We're talking about warfare, right?
Yeah, but you just said that that's not critical, but I believe that the NOI teaches that.
But we already teach that. We saying
knowledge,
warfare, like we saying warfare, right? And and I'm saying when it comes to something that you said that you don't like, or whatever that she said before, the nation then said way worse, right? And you said, well, it's the feelings and the love, and you know what I'm saying. Her job might not be to balance it out. Her job might just be to point out that.
You do realize, though, brother, that there's a plethora of military generals and admirals and white people that are all exposing the synagogue of Satan, from MacArthur to one of the generals to.
Why would I care about what they're doing?
But so it's safer. Black people are a people that when they see white daddy doing something, and they get the okay and the wink from white daddy that it's okay to do it.
Okay.
They have been doing it for the past years.
No, I'm saying, who gave Candace Owens the okay to go against the Zionists?
Okay, so in warfare, one of the things that when you go back and study psychological warfare, One of the things that
I need a quick answer though, brother.
Yep. Okay. So one of the things to say one of the key things is what do they see, right? And what do they see means what does the environment show them? So the environment that they live in, that we live in, is saying that it's safe to now adopt this rhetoric because they've seen the white master do it.
Not to cut you off, but you're going somewhere else vague. Now, first you made a
no, that's not vague, brother.
Listen. You made a specific accusation, right?
Mm-hmm.
You said they. Who is they?
You said that you knew her handlers. So who's her handlers?
I said I knew her handlers.
You said somebody on the thing. You said let's get into. You said you
you
knew about handlers. You knew about handlers. You know about handlers.
I was asking him for who her handlers was.
Okay. So if you don't know her handlers, then that's being vague too, to step out there and say that you know that she.
I didn't say she had handlers, did I?
Okay, so she doesn't have handlers.
You tell me, what, bro? Come on, bro. Do she have handlers or not?
I mean, I don't want to speculate, but I do think that when you
handlers vote in.
All right, Cam, can I cut in? Peace, Tim. This is King Tony. Yo, I want to say this. I respect your position. And since you a man of warfare, I want to ask you, you understand consequential reasoning?
Are you speaking to me, sir?
Yeah. Do you understand the concept of consequential reasoning?
You can explain it. I want to make sure we're on the same page because you may have a different understanding than me. So if you could explain.
It's not to cut your wisdom. It's only this is an accepted understanding of what consequential reasoning is, and the man of warfare should know it's simple. It means the end justifies the means. All right. Okay. Obama himself was considered a consequentialist. Now, when you talk about Candace Owens, what is her career description? What is she? A journalist, correct?
She's a talking head.
That's your opinion, but is she a title-wise, professionally, she would be considered a journalist, right?
She's a talking head, like Tucker Carlson or any other person that gets on and talk.
All right, but that's a derogatory. That's not a professional title. There's nobody has professional title as talking head.
They don't even believe it's a derogatory term. They refer them to themselves.
I'm just saying though, to answer the question directly, is she a journalist or not?
I don't know what she does. I know that she gets up and speaks every day, but to say that a journalist is somebody who goes out, researches, does certain things. I don't know if she's doing that or she has a team of people that does that. I don't know her day to day, how she constructs her topics and her producers and her directors and I'm not sure about that.
Is she? Do you believe that Candace Owens has the ability to critically think?
I don't know, brother. I couldn't get into her psychological disposition.
All right.
I don't know her as a person.
I would say that she does have the ability to critically think. And when you can critically think and you have that mental capacity, you should be able to be critical of things, including groups of people and how they live, especially if you can identify with them. Mm-hmm. So when you deal with consequential reasoning, you want to consider the reasoning behind Candace Owens' statements that you may be questioning of. What is the ends? Do the ends justify the means on why she spoke on certain things and what position she took when speaking on the Black community?
Is that a question? Because I mean, if you remember when we first started off the conversation, I said I didn't want to speculate on what her motives were. I just said that I think we're rushed. Some of us, right? Some of us may know much more about her than me. I don't follow her that closely, but those of us that I have heard that are, follow her somewhat, or maybe they do follow her a little bit more direct every day. I'm just saying maybe we should be a little bit more cautious because I hear some of us are almost like this thrust in our language. We're thrusting her out there as though she's proved the litmus test of loyalty and dependability.
Well, I'm going to give her the capacity to critically think. She's not running for public office. She is on a public platform identifying as a journalist, and she is doing a great job in that professional field. Now, if you want her to take on other things and fulfill other objectives that you see fit to help progress the Black community, then she might have to take on different titles and wear different hats beyond being a talking head.
Yeah, I never made that argument though, brother. So I don't.
Well,
You're
let me
very
say,
critical of her.
let me say
Very
that
critical of her.
I thrust her out there. So let's talk about my thrusting her out there. So you say that's not wise?
Well, I don't think that if you, let's just put it like this, because you are, I respect you. I wouldn't even be listening to a word that came out of my brother's mouth if I didn't respect you. I know you're very wise and intelligent, and so with that, doesn't mean a person has to agree 100% on everything.
Right.
This is
Nah,
just one area that when me of knowing of you and listening to you through the years, this is just one area that I would say respectfully, I would just, and you, of course, you're a grown man, you're gonna do what you desire.
Yeah, it's not.
We just need to be a little bit, yes, sir, a little bit more cautious, because we're literally at a very, very dangerous time in Black people's sojourn. And because there's so much deception, Satan, as we know, grew into a dragon, right? And he was able to deceive the whole world. And, you know, I use I know it's a movie analogy, but I think we all can relate to it in Matrix, and where the agents were able to transform whoever they wanted into them, right? And so I just would say, just be a little bit cautious, because she's already, and I know we said, well, brother, you don't have the actual statements and things of that nature, but it was a reason why she was considered a very almost a enemy to Black society just 3 to 4 years ago. And just recently they've to me, they sanitized her, they cleaned her up.
Who sanitized her?
No, I disagree.
Who sanitized her?
Her rhetoric, the way that she's taken. Prior to that, she was never speaking
canceled.
on.
She was canceled. She been canceled, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
But let's be real on what canceling. Canceling wasn't really canceled. She got on another platform. She got on another platform. She never was. Then nobody stopped her from talking. She was still.
They absolutely did.
She literally got on another website. She had to take on another job.
I'm gonna prove that your position is false, and you're gonna have to accept it or not. Or you're gonna have to say you're a liar. When Kanye West spoke out against this same group we talking about, did he suffer or not?
Brother, I don't know every detail of Kanye West's life.
Bro. Come on, man. We know Kanye West.
You're asking, brother. Hold on one second.
Hold on. Respectfully, because this Cam's thing, you're not answering questions like.
Because you're answering questions that are like just point blank. How can I know? I don't know Kanye West on a personal level. So how do I know on a personal level
to know he lost billions of dollars for speaking against Zionists?
He just got all the money back doing a recent deal and more. So I don't think you're up on that. Adidas just cut up. Adidas just literally
recent deals, but you didn't know when he lost the $8 billion for speaking against Zionists. My point is this: it is not safe, and it never was safe for the Black man to speak against that particular group.
That's been going on and it's been increasing.
You can't identify Candace Owens.
Jews are losing power and authority and prestige all around the world. College campuses was protesting. This is going on, and I'm giving credit to the Nation of Islam and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan for spearheading that and exposing the synagogue of Satan. So their job is to crush the wicked, and that's what they have been doing. So this has been growing, and you're seeing the synagogue of Satan being destroyed before your very eyes. This is why so many people are now turning against the Jews. This is not anything that it just happened today.
Let me stop that. You know what I'm saying? So we don't say the Jews. We say a certain
the synagogue of Satan
of people that are wickedly claiming to be that.
Yes, sir.
We don't say no blanket statements like that.
That's true.
I mean, everything you last just said, I agree with. So I ain't got no rebuttal to the last statement you made. But my point was, it is not safe. It never was safe to speak on them. And there is still consequences. I don't care about nobody catching no new deals. He had to get a new deal because he suffered for speaking out. Just acknowledge it. How you gonna know about his new deal, but you don't want to know the fact that he needed a new deal because he lost all that money? Not being real, bro.
But I'm not. That's not even a serious conversation, brother. So I
Well,
just want to stick. I just want to stick on
you
what
know a
brother was
lot of
talking
stuff.
about.
You gotta acknowledge it all. You start
You can't tell me
dancing.
what
You
to
just
acknowledge
dancing.
if I don't believe that, brother. I don't know everything about that, brother.
We don't need.
I have other things going on in life, but to follow every detail of everybody, I just came across that just the other day. I didn't know. I don't follow Kanye like that either. Somebody sent me that. So I don't know everything about these people that you're speaking about. I don't worship them.
Do you know enough about Candace to say I need to be careful about for putting her out there, thrusting her out there like that?
I know the position that she held, and I stopped watching
Do
her.
you know enough about Candace that I should be careful? Like I need to be more careful about putting her out there like that.
I would just say, in my humble opinion, and that's all I can go off of
No,
as
I didn't
brother
say
to
your
brother.
opinion. I said, do you know? Do you know? Not do
Go
you feel
dancing
or
again.
believe you know? Because you didn't know about Kanye, so do you know about Candace?
No, I knew about Kanye, but I don't follow him on a daily basis.
Do you follow
But
Candace on a daily basis?
I don't follow her on a daily basis
So
either.
you know about them equally. You don't know about them equally, right?
I don't know about them on an intricate level. I don't think you know them on an intricate level.
Means. I don't know what that means. I follow her daily.
It's on you, boy.
You know her person. You know who her handlers are,
I know
brother.
her personally.
You know? Do you know if she has? Let me ask you.
You would be a lawyer. You would be a good lawyer.
Listen
do
to
you
me.
know if she has handlers or not?
I don't want to mute you.
No, I'm
You
just
gotta
asking
show
because
respect.
brother, the other brother's actually been over talking me.
Oh, I don't know. I get y'all voices confused. I don't know who's who. Like, so I don't. If I see
I haven't laughed. I haven't
moderators.
laughed at anybody. I haven't snickered. I haven't disrespected.
That's emotions, bro. Come on, like this. We men.
No,
We
I
men.
mean, brother, but if we're gonna be fair, that's not
Well, if we're
emotion.
gonna
It's
be fair, we should show our face. Everybody show their face right now. Because if I see who's talking, then I can moderate properly. But if we just gonna be anonymous talking, and I'm gonna let y'all talk.
yes, sir. Well, you can go
I ain't
ahead,
got
brother.
no
I'm
issues. That's
listening.
my face right there. I'm gonna look the same. I mean, what are we talking about?
I'm just saying if brother top tier is complaining that somebody's over talking somebody else, I need to see who's talking because I don't even know who's talking.
Yes, sir.
Oh, man. You good? Top tier, respectfully.
Oh no, I'm good, brother. I'm not emotional at all, brother. But yes, sir. I actually appreciate the conversation, and I appreciate both of you brothers' perspectives. Again, I really respect Brother Cam. This is just one area that I guess you asked for a comment on, and I gave my opinion. I didn't come on prepared to have 100% actual facts on it. I could have if I would have knew in advance, but I didn't know. So this is the best I could do just off the top of my head.
No, I respect that, and it's all a teachable. It's always teachable. It's hopefully teaching us that anytime we get on public platforms and make comments that might be disparaging towards somebody else's character, then we might need to have the receipts. We might need to have the actual proofs of what we claim they said or didn't say or what they did or they didn't do. You feel me?
Understand, brother. You taught me well today. So yes, sir.
Because that's all we got is our word. All we got is our quote unquote image a lot of times. And if media is known for assassinating our image and assassinating our character and defaming us, you could be guilty of defaming Candace Owens right now, right?
I haven't really said anything that other than what I remember her saying.
Trust her. You said that people shouldn't trust her.
I think trust is earned, not given. That's just my philosophy. I think trust is earned.
But
that's why I trust.
I'm saying that the people is adults, and I can put content out there and promote what I know is true and accurate. I don't care what they motive is. I don't care what Candace Owens' motive or agenda or what team she on. That don't matter to me. right? I'm putting out information. So you can learn something from the devil. You know, I can learn from ops. I can learn from homosexuals. I can learn from anybody, right?
Yes, sir.
That's
Do you believe?
warfare.
Do you believe that she's righteous?
By nature, yeah, and I believe that she's righteous by demonstration. I believe she's misguided because she only 35 years old.
And
Right?
she's
She only
35.
35 years old and she a black woman and she got more nuts than most of us put together.
Okay. Yes, sir. Well, I appreciate it, brothers.
Respectfully, I just want to say I appreciate your commentary and you coming on the live. Thank you, brother Cam, always for allowing us to, join you on the platform and speak.
Definitely. And top tier, you are a brother, you know what I'm saying? So me and Tone, we be bumping. This is the first time I ain't had to apologize to him.
Cam, yeah. I came in, I told him I waved the flag early, I said, because
so this is how we talk over here, top tier. You know what I'm saying? You are a brother no matter what. Really the way that we establish respect and love for each other is sometimes we gotta bump heads first.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And I can tell your character by how you respond when we bump heads. So, and like I said, I respect. That's why Tone just tuned in and he caught the vibe. That's why he just said that. So I'm just elaborating on that. We both respect you, got love for you. We don't have to agree, but we got to respect you. So we definitely respect you.
Definitely
respect you, brothers. I appreciate you, brothers. Love you, man. And I can still continue to tune in, brother, and keep doing what you do.
Yes, sir. Much love.
Much love, brother.
All right, peace. Big Tone.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. You was like the good cop, bad cop this evening.
Nah, man. He was dancing. I can't lie. The boy could dance.
Hey, but that's what we here for because I used to be Darren's dance move once upon a time too. I danced my way out of something too, but
word. We all
here
did.
to get it right.
Word, respectfully,
Yeah.
But yeah, I went live real quick a little bit. I had jumped up because I'm like, man, y'all really want to see me right now?
I just had to put that out there. I got to poke at our manhood real quick.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you did that. You did what I knew you was I knew you was gonna do that. That's what's up. That's what's up.
But yeah, Cam, I'm gonna take off now. You know what I'm saying? I'll tap back in on another show. I appreciate you, my brother.
Man, always love, always respect, Big Tone.
Yes, sir.
All right, peace. Salute. Hey, the girl gods is back down here. We only got, I know I was gonna be on here this long, so it's movie time.
How long are we on?
2 hours and 42 minutes. Talking to our people, talking with our people, I should say, not to, talking with our people. Y'all missed it today. It was on. We was.
I would not want to be on here for
2 hours.
48 minutes.
You would. If you knew the value of your people like this, you would. Once you start getting some sisterhood, warrior sisters and all that, then you're going to be wanting to stay on all night. Have to get you off of here.
You were on here for almost 3 hours.
Yeah. That's what we're doing now. This December. I'm trying to do 3 hours per night this whole month of December because I just know how depressing it is and how lonely, this season is for a lot of us that might not have family members or that might be going through some trials and tribulations or whatever, some issues, health issues, money issues, loneliness issues. So that's what this is for, y'all. And that's why they blessed to have their family here, their daddy and their mama and their siblings or whatever, but everybody don't got that. So I'm here for us. You know what I'm saying? So the little girls, thank y'all. Ghost Rider.
What up? What up? Peace, peace.
Peace, fam. What's good?
Yeah, I'm coming out my element. I normally don't.
It's all respect, man. What's your thoughts? You wanted to add something to the convo?
Yeah, I mean, man, it's so much to go over, like what's happening right now with the whole energy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do this because it's on the top of my brain right now. That whole thing with Kendrick and Drake.
Oh yeah.
I think black people need to be paying attention to what Drake is about to do.
Mhm.
I don't think, that message needs to continue with people thinking, oh, he about to sue Kendrick, he going to K Dot. I don't think
Mhm.
I think people need to study the moves and understand the reason why he doing what he doing.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's a game being played right now. Um, when we talking about the subject of black people getting, so-called reparations or whatever,
Right. Mhm.
um, we need to be looking at this method that Drake is doing.
Mhm.
That dude is half part of them.
Mhm.
So he's taking steps for a reason. I think the terminology that's being used, specific terminology that's being used as far as like the legal system is concerned.
Mhm.
Um, I think he owned to something, and black people need to be paying attention to it if you want your money from these folks. Um, they have already shown and proved they don't play fair, and
Mhm.
the case, you know what I mean? Like maybe we need to be looking at this a little bit different. Not on no rap beef. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
K-Dot got him on the rap level, but on this legal thing, he playing a game that I don't think, man, nobody paying attention to. Like he using a system against them now. And if that's the case, I think, man, people need to wake up and pay attention. Like, man, stop getting caught up in all of this foolishness like that. Like,
What system do you think that he's using against them?
I think he's using that court system real heavy.
Who
And
controls the court system?
they do to a certain degree until you start proving facts to them. You
So do you
know,
think he's more on Trump's side of the team?
I don't really get a vibe if he playing sides. I get a vibe that he realized that they possibly getting ready to give him a treatment. And if that's the case, he on some, well, I'm finna go all out on my end too then.
I totally actually agree with you on that. And I wouldn't really jump into that subject unless somebody was a scientist enough like you are to actually speak on that. I know, just like you said, I know anytime the media generally gets together and goes against anybody, they must
Yeah,
be doing something good or something that we need to support. So I
absolutely.
totally agree with you on that. They wouldn't, I don't know what went on behind the scenes with Drake and them folks, but if he playing that game now, then he tried to do some real shit that they finna turn on him. Like you know what I'm saying, I agree
Yeah.
with you on that.
I think he's younger because I don't want to put my age out there, but I'm a
Yeah.
man of a certain age. But he's younger. He's part of that younger generation. I think he knows about the technology that is being used against him and was used against him, and that bot game is a real thing. And
Well,
I think
it was for him too, though. It was to his benefit. Not saying that he couldn't be a spook that sat by the door,
right.
um, and he could be. But go no, continue. My bad. Continue.
No, I think he was probably cool with that system as long as it was working for him.
Yeah.
Now that he done seen how the tables can turn and they on some, you know what, you probably ain't the, he probably on some, you know what, if y'all gonna do me like that, give me that kind of treatment, then I'm gonna go out in a blaze with this system. And I think that's why he went and filed that paperwork, rightfully so.
I think that's the Candace Owens principle. That's the same Candace Owens principle. She used to work. She's telling everybody for the last year. I used to work for the Zionists until they turned on me and tried to, play me a certain kind of way. And now she just verbally out there with it. Like, I'm with Kanye, I'm with such and such, I'm with Kyrie. Only one she can't say that she with is Farrakhan because of, that's media suicide if you say you say that. But she said everything but that. And it's because most activists become activists because something personally, selfishly happens to them first. If your mama die or whatever, God forbid, of breast cancer or whatever, then you're going to become an activist against breast cancer, not because you just wanted to save the world from breast cancer, it's because something happened to you personally.
Right. Yeah, I think, man, people need to man, pay attention to what, put the music aside and pay attention to the moves that Drake is making, man. Like I said, he have part of them. He did stuff in that flavor that kind of goes towards them. I want people to, man, pay attention to that, because when you start talking about this whole getting money and reparations, so to speak, man, I believe, man, that they've been playing a game with us where, to put in the simple terms, like if you go to the store and you bring in something back to return that's defective and they on some, well, do you have a receipt? Well, I purchased it here. You've been watching me. You saw me go through the aisle. You saw me my card. I bought it here. Well, you got to prove to us that I believe that's what's been going on when it comes to us getting our money. If that's the case, pay attention to what Drake doing, man, with that bot system. I don't think, man, he just doing that out of spite for no music. I think he doing it on some, if y'all getting ready to pull this so-called cancel method on me, fine. I'm going to go out, man, and I'm going to injure y'all as well. I believe that's his attitude.
Yeah,
that could Drake fan either.
Right.
Like,
I'm a Drake fan. I'm a Drake fan. Like, he a hit maker. He make hits. He not no street dude. I'm not a fan of him trying to act like a street dude.
Right.
But damn, it was something I'm about to say. Damn, my bad. Go ahead.
Don't cook, man, because I'm with you. I've been riding, man, with the Nation of Islam for years. I am man enough now to say I wasn't bold enough to really, man, subscribe. Probably should have, but I'm good either way.
Yeah, it ain't no club. Like you born, if you black, you already a member of the nation. You might not be a member of no mosque, but you're a member of the nation from the cradle to the grave. But so the thing I was saying is Drake, his character, maybe his ego, his pride or whatever, he won't be successful in if he is fighting a real fight unless he got to come clean and kind of atone and confess the whole little rainbow agenda and all that stuff that they had him promoting. You can't act like you riding against the beast, but you ain't cleaning up the stuff that you was used to infect our minds with, our little girls and boys' minds with. So his thing is not going to work if he don't clean it up from the grassroots.
Absolutely. I've been there. That's why I said I couldn't really get into his music like that, man. Like he had hits and it was cool. I got bumping in the car with the kids and all that, but lyrically, I couldn't really, man, like identify with any of, man, his subject matter. But I still rock with him. But at the end of the day, I'm paying attention to the bigger picture. Man, I think, man, people, man, sleeping on the move that he just made. Like, it kind of, man, gave me that vibe of when the minister announced that the nation, man, had filed a lawsuit. I was like, okay, he feeling a certain kind of way. Maybe he got a little fight in him and give some game up, man, to where some people paying attention can see how to make moves now.
Yeah, but it's not gonna work. Diddy is an example of that. Michael Jackson, Bill Cosby, Mike Tyson, Tupac, everybody that had been locked up for some inappropriate immorality type crimes. The reason why the minister, you can't put Drake in the same category with the minister or the nation filing no billions of dollar lawsuit, is because we wasn't never pushing foolishness. We wasn't ever pushing poison and smut and rainbow this and immorality and vices and nothing like that. So the fact that if he is trying to revolutionary up and fight against the beast, he got to denounce all of that first. He got to denounce his own sins and atone for it before we would ever take him serious. That's why niggas is clowning him, because he's not doing that. You still trying to cover your sins with that fig leaf like you didn't do nothing wrong, so we just gonna let you get ate up.
Yep, that's all facts. Yeah, man, I just wanted to, kind of tap in and kind of give, man, that different perspective on things. But hey, man, look, I'm here, man. I'm riding with you. I don't really know if people understand who you are. That West Coast Cam name.
I don't even understand it. I ain't worried about that part. I understand who y'all are, so that's what I work for. I don't even know who I am, but I know I'm valuable. But shit, I don't know my grade. I don't know my identity like that.
Trust me, your stamp is approved, dog. Like for real. Like I'm STL veteran all day, man. And we bump West Coast music heavy in St. Louis.
Yeah.
So you are well respected. And I think, man, people need to really, if y'all listening or see this, y'all need to, man, like understand what my man is about, man. Like this ain't no run of the mill. Like this dude, man, been doing this since he came out there and put himself out there. Like, man, put some respect on his name, man. Stop playing, man. Especially these younger folks, man. These internet younger people, they gotta stop doing that, man. Like y'all got some real G's in front of you. And I ain't talking about gangsters. I'm talking about like gentlemen. Like stop playing, man.
That's right.
Yeah.
Man, it's all love.
All peace and love, man. I love you. Keep pounding.
Love you too, bro. Love you too, man. Much respect. And anytime you want to hop on, bro, you done already broke the ice, so you a VIP over here now. Anybody see you, they're gonna have to respect you like they respect me.
So, absolutely, man. All love, man. Stay up, bro.
You too, bro. Love. Man, dope. I guess so. I know y'all tired. You still on? Uncle Ruben, he said, make no mistake. He said, those blood ties mean nothing to me when measured against the ascendancy of our race. Blade 2. Drake is not above being made an example of by his mom's folks. They do sacrifices for a living. That's part of their whole ritual, right? They do, allegedly sacrifices, right? So ain't nobody bigger than the program. Ain't nobody bigger than the God program or the Satan program. Ain't no individual bigger than that. So on that note, y'all want to say peace to the people? Peace. And we outro. Campaign.